Hello, everybody. I hope everyone's having a great night tonight. I got a cool guest on tonight. Sure, you guys had to have heard of him, Mr. Baker of Blue Line Morphs. He's a really cool dude, and DMJ Reptiles over here. We support our police officers, so we appreciate him, and I look forward to this live stream. He's a fellow New Yorker, and yeah, I think it's time to start the show. So here is Baker of Blue Line Morphs.
Joe.
Yo, yo.
What up, Gino?
Chilling, man. We're ready. We are ready for a live stream. It feels weird because I took last week off.
Yeah, you weren't on Friday.
Yeah, I was having issues getting confirmation on a guest. And they didn't confirm, and then it was too late. And then my kids were begging me to watch movies with them and everything like that. So I was like, you know what? I'll take a movie night. I don't think I did that video with the kids. It got like 300 views. So I guess everybody was like all cool about it, messaging me like, oh, enjoy the night off and have a great weekend. So it was cool.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. So how is everything going over at Blue Line Morphs?
Well, I tell you, it's going a lot better than the first season. The first season was kind of chaotic and kind of like we talked about this before, like when you and I were just in the chat. Like, this is technically my second season, I guess you could say. Realistically, it's really my first real season, but yeah, my second season. Listen, it's a lot better than the first season, I'll tell you that. I had the first clutches over there, seven hatchlings over there. There's actually 9 hatchlings over there now. That's what tomorrow's video. I told you tomorrow's video is going to be about. My other clutch that kind of pipped on me was that pastel Corglow Black Pastel Trick Mojave male. And very weird situation, which I'll talk about tomorrow. But
yeah. We'll leave it for the fans.
It's going good. Listen, long story short, it was like the tail like 3 different eggs. I'll just say it real quick because I'm going to do a long. One came out of the egg, one pipped, and the other one like was still in the egg and wasn't ready to be cut. But then it like did its own thing, and then it was alive, then it wasn't alive, then it was alive. So it was kind of interesting. I'll tell you this: over the last 2 seasons, I've pretty much experienced everything you could possibly fucking experience. So
yeah,
but it's going good. I got a Batman clutch I'm going to cut tomorrow. 2 more clutches are cooking in there. I got a Pied Girl. It's going to lay any day now. I got a 8-ball Spider Girl. It's going to lay. I got a Vanilla Fire Yellow Belly Head Hypo Girl. It's going to lay. I got an OD Fire Girl. It's going to lay. And I got a Pastel Mister Girl. It's still going to lay. And possibly that Het Pod Girl I got from Ozzy going to lay too. So we're like halfway through the season.
Yeah. And how many clutches dropped for you already?
Well, I have 5. I might get none, but I might get up to another 6 or 7 clutches.
Nice. Yeah, you know what? I think New York's a late season. It seems like everybody's late in New York.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. Like my incubator is the one I got from Sal, so it only holds like I think 10 to 12 clutches. So I'm kind of happy this happened because now at least at any given time there'll only be like 4 or 5 clutches in the incubator.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, it gets crazy when they start piling up on you. You know, when you have all these babies to feed.
Yeah. Well, Sal takes care of me big time, bro. So.
Yeah, you know, the king of rodent breeding.
Dude, he has it like all figured out over there. Like he does such a good job over at his house, and just the way he thought it out, how methodical, and like it just runs so smoothly. Everything from his kids helping him clean the tubs to the substrate to the Missouri to the extra stuff he puts in the ASFs to the tubs to how he just reconfigured it. It's flawless, man. It really is. Like I don't think if I started to breed rodents, I could ever kind of figure it out the way he figured it out.
Well, the key thing is, and I didn't want to take the credit for it, but since he said it in the comments, is you need to call Chino from DMJ Reptiles because that is actually how me and Gomez became buddies. We we were talking rodents actually.
Really?
Yeah, he was breeding them, and I feel like what's like I'm sure with you and Sal the same way. Me and Sal kind of like bounce everything off each other's heads, and everyone has to do it their own way and go their own route, but we learn from what we both go through,
Right.
so we have the two different rodent facilities giving us the data to make decisions.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys. I'll tell you that. I have like those old school rodent breeding
Breeder
like
box?
lab. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have one male in there and two females. So I breed like a litter a month or 2 litters a month. Or I honestly only do it just to like do it because I think it's cool. I like rats a lot now, so I kind of just breed them just to do it. Plus, some of my smaller things I like to feed twice a week, so at least I have some on hand like midweek if I can't shoot over to Gomez's house.
Yeah, I it's like I still have colonies of mice, and I'm expanding my African softwares. So I went from like 19 colonies of mice and nine colonies of ASFs to now I'm at 18 colonies of ASFs, and I still have about 7 or 8 colonies of mice.
That's awesome. Yeah,
But
I mean,
I love them. There's
it's like
morphs.
super rewarding.
Oh yeah, you have ASFs that you're breeding.
No, I gave up on them when they started eating each other. Remember? I haven't done it again. I met him from Sal, but now I consider him a good friend of mine too. Eric from Big E's Reptiles.
Yeah, Eric's a good guy.
Yeah, dude. He's cranking out ASFs too, bro. My man's overrun over there. So I tell you, between him and Sal, like I am so fortunate. Where like I know a lot of people have to worry about rodents and worry about feeding hatchlings. Sal is like he's a stand-up dude, and he pretty much flat out told me like I always get you when it comes to like your hatchlings and your rodents. So I cannot be more grateful, more appreciative to have that on hand.
Oh yeah, I mean he's he that's a very limited list of customers for him, and he's very dedicated, and because I hear people trying to get rodents, and he's kind of like, he's set. He has 3 people that grab him. He's got you that's extremely consistent. He has someone else that comes by, and then he has one other person that all of his grow outs that he doesn't need anymore can go to them, and it's got a great system going with the rodents. I mean, other than the beautiful racks and everything like that,
it's flawless.
Yeah,
it's just a finely tuned, a Henry Ford-esque. It's just very it's flawless. I don't know. I'm very envious over that. I'll tell you that because I don't think I'll ever do that. As long as Sal's around, I won't do it.
Yeah, I have no choice. When I lived in Westchester, so I lived in Ardsley, New York. I had 3 racks in my father's in the garage, and I supplemented because it was just easier for me to. Every week I would order, and I was breeding, but then I was also holding, and I would order from Komodo and Reptile Deli. But when I moved upstate, you can't find rodents up here.
Yeah, no, listen, I mean, I suppose I would never want this to happen, but if for some reason Sal either A, didn't breed anymore, moved, and same thing with Eric, I mean, I would obviously have to start breeding somehow. But as far as now, I should be good for a little bit. So.
Oh, yeah, and Eric has a handful of snakes, and he keeps building all these fucking rat racks, so forget it,
Yeah, I know. He's loving breeding those ASF, so more power to him.
Yeah, because I mean, the ASFs have grown on me, and I've officially bred out the aggression out of them.
Yeah,
where I can, I'll get bit. You still get bit, but sometimes I won't get bit for a month. But you're also getting bit because these animals they haven't been in captivity for so long, so they still have those natural instincts to protect the pack.
Oh, yeah.
So when you shove your hand in there, it's usually the male going, "Hey, what the fuck you doing?" and clips her hand real fast.
I mean, I have 3 rats over there. Actually, one just had a litter, but the one gray male I had, I always show them off some of the videos. I've had him for like a year, and he's legit like a pet. So when I come in here, he looks at me, he wants to come out, I take him out, and he'll hang out with me. But that being said, though, like some of the females I breed him to, they get a little nippy sometimes, man. They absolutely listen, it is what it is. At the end of the day, they are animals, and you are sticking your hand pretty much in their home. So good luck.
And rats, I mean, rats are just. I love breeding rats. There's something about they're personable. Like my females, like not my colonies, they come up and they come up and pet me. I mean, not pet me, I pet them. They come up for pets. And then I'm getting into like different morphs, and you know, I'm learning more and more. I've been breeding all these different. What's going on, Joe? I've been breeding all these. So I'm like really big into the blue ones, where they look like blue nose pits.
Yeah, that's what the one male I have is a big gray like dummy.
And then now I've been like working out traits because I do. So I learned from Vinny Meyer, VIP Morphs. It's all about genetics, you know, and your bloodlines. When I moved upstate, I had 24 colonies of rodents, 24 bins. And I didn't have enough to feed my snakes. I had over 100 snakes, but a lot of adults, you know. And I was buying rats off of Craigslist, and that's how I met Vinny, buying rats off of Craigslist. And this guy's got 100 snakes, and he's selling rats on Craigslist, on Facebook, and he has 13 fucking colonies. And I'm going, how is this possible? I have 10 more colonies than you, and you're feeding your collection, filling your freezer, and selling to customers. Like, holy shit.
He's doing something different.
So he's very big in climate control. His facility won't go, it stays between 70 and 73 degrees, 365 days a year.
Oh yeah, because they don't breed well in the heat, right?
Well, I actually think they breed better in the heat. It's just that they don't breed well when it's hot.
Right.
So like if you're keeping it at like high 70s, low 80s is where you start getting into the danger zone, but high 70s is like optimum. That's where they're just always pregnant. They're always dropping babies. I mean, this time of the year right now where it's cool at night but hot in the day. I mean, right now I have 36 bins. I have 31 colonies, and I would say at least 28 colonies are just filled with litters, you know.
Yeah.
But rodent breeding is such a big part of it, especially when you're trying to save money.
Well, it's like an infrastructure. Because if you think of it that way, without rodents, your snakes aren't going to grow. You're not be able to breed your snakes, not be able to feed the hatchlings, to sell the hatchlings. So if you don't have a consistent rodent supply, and you have to go to a pet store all the time. Listen, if I have, I don't know, 50 to 60 snakes right now. I don't have a lot of snakes, right? I feel like I have a decent amount of high quality animals. So if I had to go to a pet store every week to pay for rats for this place at like $375 a rat, you're talking about probably $1,100-$1,200 a month. So like if you can eliminate that cost by either somebody like Gomez or by breeding yourself, it's the backbone of what you're going to be doing as a business, and it really is your infrastructure where it allows you to push it to the next level, and it allows you to continue your collection, to raise your collection, to grow your collection, ultimately to breed.
Yeah, and homegrown. You see, you're feeding them. You see your animals are healthy. At the same time, I'm not saying that these big breeders aren't going to breed, or that they're breeding unhealthy animals, but I mean, as soon as I see an animal showing any type of weight loss, when you can see their spine or you can see that their fur is fucked up, then it's like so quick. I'm so quick to just bow food,
Yeah.
They give it right to the boas, because the boas are. I have three nice sized boas, and they are garbage disposals.
Yeah, I got one red tail left. That if I have a leftover rat, I throw it in there. It only takes a couple seconds. So
Do you still have the retic?
I do not. I do not. We'll talk offline about that.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah, we'll talk offline about that.
It's frowned upon and where we are. I know.
No, fuck that. I don't care about that. Come take the fucking thing. You know, but it was another circumstance that we'll talk about at a different. Yeah, that's the only thing I regret, Joe, is that fucking snake. But I'm gonna get. I think eventually I'm gonna get a pied retic. You watch.
Really?
No,
I
Sal.
want one.
I'm not gonna tell the story, Sal.
I want a retic, but with having small children, and God forbid, if the wrong person complains and the complaint happens, and then all of a sudden, it turns into a danger to the children. That's why I don't have one.
I'll tell you this. Everything I read about retics and people spoke about the retics, they're like, they have an attitude problem. They're a little more feisty. I did a video about it. Like my retic, when I had her, she's much more self-aware than like, but ball pythons are like the big dummies of like the snake world, right? We all know that. You open the tub up and they get scared or whatever. That retic, when I walked in my house, she would follow you. Like her eyes would move with you and she would watch what you're doing. Like if I was getting ready to feed her, she would look at you moving, then look down at your hands, like to see what you were doing. It was almost like creepy. There was something more different about her, but she was cool as shit, dude. Listen, there was times where I slid that door open for the terrarium, and she would just open her mouth. I'm like, all right, no problem. At that day, I'm not taking her out. And there was other days where I opened it. She would just look at you and open her mouth up. And you're like, all right. And there's other days where I'd open it up, and she would just come out. And she would hang out, bro. She's only, 14, 15 months old. But at that point, she was like 7 feet long already. And once she was out, bro, she was cool. I'm getting pissed off thinking about it. But once she was out, she was cool as shit, man. And yeah, she's gone now. But she's in a really good home, man. And then the girl that bought her lives up in Massachusetts, and she keeps me updated. And she has nothing but big animals up there. So I told her if anything ever changes, I want her back. But it is what it is now.
They're freaking awesome. I mean, they hunt, so it's not like a ball python where it's an opportunity eater. No. This is an animal that's straight up. When it's feeding time and you don't have food for that thing is not going to stop moving until it finds it. Yeah.
You remember the scene from Jurassic Park where like this, I think like the snake crawls over the tree branch and like the velociraptor's sitting there and eyes moving, watching the guy.
Yeah.
That's what she reminded me of, bro. Like her eyes, she would just watch you move. When you walked in the house, she would feel the vibration of the door because she was in my living room. And then she would come out of like her hide and she would watch you as you walk throughout the house. It was fucking creepy, bro. Yeah, they're all destroying me right now.
Yeah, it's great. I'm just impressed that Gomez commented. I gotta thank Baker for getting Gomez to comment on one of my live streams. He listens, but he doesn't comment. So, kudos to you for making this happen. It's been a long time. Ever since we broke up and he stopped doing live streams with me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'll get it. Right now, honestly, do you know what I really want is a monitor.
Me too.
I think they're so fucking cool, bro. But the problem is, what I want is a black dragon. One, they're pricey, but secondly, like I spoke to a couple of people because like they're water monitors that they pretty much shit in their water every single day, and you pretty much have to have a constant supply of new fresh water, which you can do easily, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. So
yeah, that's like the biggest complaint of everyone that I know that has them is that they're like. Part of the daily chore is to clean the shitty water.
Yeah.
And they get big, like when you have them when you're using like a cement mixing tub for fucking a water thing for it.
Well, two things. The other thing is everything they tell me is they need enrichment. Like they need to like be like taken out. You need to fuck with them. They need to be moved around a lot. But then also, I did a search warrant. Did you hear the story?
No.
All right. So we flipped a guy, right? And essentially he was like, listen, this guy's got 3 guns in his apartment. He keeps them with an iguana. So if you're told, this is a Jamaican dude, right? So if you're told iguana, what are you thinking about?
Like a big ass green iguana.
Right. Like the iguanas you get from like the carnival. You know what I'm saying? Like a green iguana. That's what I thought about. I was like, all right, whatever. You probably. I've seen guns hidden in like ball python tanks. I've seen them with tarantulas. I've seen them with scorpions. And what they'll do is they'll put them in Ziploc bags and hide them in the substrate. And whatever. So I'm thinking it's gonna be an iguana. Long story short, we're clearing the house, and I open up one of the side bedrooms, and I close it. And my sergeant's like, "Is it in there with the iguana?" And I'm like, "Boss, it's not an iguana." All I saw was a base of a tail about that thick. Black move. So I was like, it's not an iguana. So at this point, everyone calls me like Dr. Doolittle to begin with because of the snakes and the dog and everything else. Got the tortoise running around the backyard. So he's like, what is it? So I open the door and I look, and it's an Asian water monitor. And it's looking at me, and it's probably about, I'll text you a picture of it. It's probably about 4 or 5 feet long. Its body's about this thick, right? And it's looking at me, and it's in the corner. And as I go in the room, it kind of started blading itself. It started taking its tail like in front of its body. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, it's either going to bite me or whip me. And so long story short, I'm looking at it and I'm like, listen, it's kind of like do or die. So I just started reaching my hand towards it. Like it's either going to bite me or it's going to be like tame. And I figured I'd take one for the team. It kind of is what it is. So like as my hand got closer to it, it looked at me, bro. It like stuck its tongue out and then just moved its head like this. And I started scratching the side of its neck and it was all about it.
It was a puppy dog. Oh, dude, shit.
That's all it was. I picked it up. It probably weighed about 30 pounds. And I picked it up and I started fucking with my sergeant about it. And he hates all that shit. I'll send you the videos. It's really good. But
oh my God.
Well, long story short, this Asian water monitor just lived in this dude's apartment. And he had, like you said, like a mini like water, like cement. Like it wasn't as big as a full-size one, probably 3 feet by 2 feet of like water in his living room. And this thing just wandered around his house.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've seen that happen with tegus as well. But the monitors are big ass lap dogs. They're the pit bulls of the lizard world. In Arlington, there was a vendor there that had a huge one, and he was just walking around like a baby. The thing's got its head on his shoulder, looking around like a fucking baby, and it's like full grown.
My understanding is they're like somewhat intelligent too. Like this, they're not a human, not a dog, but they're like they know you, right? They understand like certain like movements. They understand feeding. They know who feeds them. They go to certain people, like shit like that.
Yeah, I like the peach throat. The peach throat monitor. I worked with this guy. He lived out in Yonkers, and this guy. It's funny that you talk about people stashing weapons. So he had safes. And he had his guns in with his Savannahs. He had 2 Savannah monitors that were just 100% vicious, never handled. It was, and he had them in a 220-gallon tank, and he put his safe inside the 220-gallon tank. But he had a peach throat, and that peach throat was the shit. I mean, he would show up. He worked with me at Pet Goods in Yonkers, and that thing would wrap around the shopping cart, and he would throw rats, like throwing a fucking dog treat to a dog, and the monitor would catch the rats out of the shopping cart.
That's awesome. Well, even now, like with what I told you about the one hatchling, like that thing's just gonna get thrown out now, where it could be getting fed to my monitor if I had one.
Yeah, and it's really cool. So we actually do that. We have a bearded dragon, and we give the duds from the geckos to the bearded dragon, and Beardy goes fucking nuts, man. Like as soon as you walk up to his tank with the egg in your hand, he goes like crazy, like running back and forth, like going nuts. Yeah, so duds don't go in the garbage. Duds go to him, and I had a clutch slug out. Not one of the clutches one of the first videos I posted with the night vision camera of the snake laying eggs.
Yeah.
She slugged out on me. And it was weird because I've never dealt with this before, but I got like full size eggs that were probably over 100 grams. Looked perfect. Everything about them was perfect. The touch, I mean, everything was perfect. So I put the light on them, and they were bright yellow.
Oh, just nothing.
Nothing. But we got I got like a smaller than a chicken egg. It was like a small chicken egg dud. And I put it in with the fucking bearded dragon, and Beardy went ape shit over it. Oh my god, he ripped it open. He was like a hyena in a bull's ass. I mean,
no shit.
With like all the white goo inside the egg. Oh,
I didn't realize they were like that.
Yeah, they like eggs. So I mean, I would love to do like with the monitors, be able to, do that, or even like a snake. The one I really like was the one Brian Cusco unfortunately just lost. What is it? That black snake with the red belly. What the fuck is it called again? The one that Miguel has one that it's those are snake eaters. So whenever he stillborns, he feeds them to that indigo. There you go.
Yeah. I was gonna say the color.
Yeah. I would love something to feed them off.
They're wicked expensive though, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think they start at $5,000.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I mean,
the most expensive bull python is probably right around there.
In your collection?
Yeah, maybe a little more. Yeah, and that's the most expensive one, not starting.
Yeah, I can. One day. One day I plan on having. People already call it the De Leon Zoo when they come to my house, with all the different species we work with.
Yeah.
But that would definitely be something in the cards eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I like the ball python just because of the different variations. I don't know if I'll ever breed anything else. I love retics, but that's just a whole different ball game, bro. And that's. I mean, when I bought my retic, I went to his house and he had, I would say about 15 full size, adult retics, and he had them in his basement, a really nice like little facility. And he had those big vision tanks, like 9 feet by 4 feet by 2 feet, and they were all stacked on top of each other. And he had it down to a science, and it was really well kept. But that's just a whole different ball game, bro. And plus, it's like one of those things where like one clutch is like 30 eggs. So if you have 10 clutches, you got 300 snakes to sell, bro. It's a lot of fucking mouths to feed.
I just got the reality of that with the boa. So my super hypo had 34 babies.
That's insane.
Like 6 clutches at once. It's fucking crazy. So like feeding is, I mean, unreal.
Well, the only good thing is, like, I tried to feed the hatchlings yesterday, and 1 ate, 2 struck and coiled it, then let it go, and it's like a pain in the ass. But from what I understand, like other species, like they eat almost right away. Like the guy I bought the retic from, his retics, like as soon as he goes to feed them, they fucking eat. There's no issue whatsoever.
Yeah, the boas are good. I mean, I can't complain about that. Out of 34, the first offer, 31 ate. So only 3 didn't eat. And then the next feeding, it was 33 of the 34. It took the third offering for the last one to eat. And then now forget it. I mean, they're beasts. The only thing about them is they're assholes. Like the baby boas, it's like now they're ready to sell, but they're so aggressive. So when you're sexing them, you're just getting torn apart. They're just biting after biting after biting.
Let me ask you this. I have my BCI, right?
Yeah.
I got it from essentially one of the kids on my team. His side piece had a snake, and she couldn't keep it anymore, so they gave it to me. I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know what sex it is. I know nothing about it. All I know is I've seen like horror stories with boas, And when I would handle this thing, it was cool as can be. As a little dog. I could pet its head and it just kind of hung out. That's why I kept it. But I don't know what species it is. I believe it's just a BCI. I don't know what sex it is. I know you're supposed to like feel the tail. If you feel bumps, then it's a male.
When they're
right?
small, you can feel little BBs, they say, but you just pop it. You pop it just like a ball python.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't even try to.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because I didn't know that either. Because I know that back in the day we were can you hook me up? Back in the day we were probing them. You know, that was before popping. You know, we're going back to the 90s. But when I got when I got back into the boas and I got them 2 years ago, when you pop the male, they're fucking hemi pins. Them things are hung like horses, man.
Oh,
like
really?
fucking the hemi pins like stick out like an inch on like a 200-gram animal.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's totally different than ball pythons, where you're kind of like, you know, now after time you realize, you know, you see the scent glands on the outside and obviously the hemi pins. Do more team. But yeah, you can just pop it. That's all I did. The female.
I'm about to figure it out. I have no idea what it is. I just know it's cool. It's in my living room. It's got a terrarium. It's got like leaves and shit in there. It's got a nice background.
Yeah.
But can you
is it eating?
What's that?
Is it eating frozen thawed?
No, I just throw a medium rat in there.
Yeah.
And it just does work, bro. Within, there's no hesitation. Within 15, 20 seconds, you hear it. It's over.
Yeah. We just fed a rabbit to ours.
Oh, really?
Big rabbit too.
Live?
It wasn't little. Yeah. Yeah, because I got my discount chicken breeding facility in the backyard. So the male rabbits I feed off. I use the male rabbits, the male babies for food, and then the females I grow them out, and then it's my food. Me and my family we breed it for meat.
Yeah.
What were you saying about the boas? You're about to say something.
Oh no, I don't know what it is. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was thinking about moving her and putting her in like the V70 tubs, and just throwing her in one of the tubs and using that. It's like a big stand-up terrarium, bro. It's like 3.5 feet tall, and with big doors that open up. And I feel like I can utilize it, put something else in there. And I was thinking about picking up like lychees from Eric, because I think they're cool as shit. That or like an emerald tree boa, but I haven't decided yet.
I love the lychees. I breed lychees as well, but unfortunately, I lost my male. I got a loner male from Eric that hasn't really figured it out with my females, but we will see in time. Does it climb? I mean, does it pretty much stays on the bottom?
It used to, but now that it got bigger, she just kind of hangs out on the bottom.
Yeah, it's hot. Every time you walk by, she's in a different spot, but she's on the bottom.
More or less, yeah.
I like the boas. So I like them in the boa files. So my boa, my big one, she's over 20 pounds, and she's in the 4 foot by 2 foot by 18 inches tall boa file. And even that one I think is too high. You know, because it's just not utilized the top. Like I feel like I could stack them if I went like 12 inches high.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I haven't decided yet. I got nothing to put in there right now, so I'm not going to let it happen. So, she'll stay in there until I figure out what I want to put in there, but I'm not really in a rush. Like I said, we'll see what happens. One of my snakes is like doing laps in there. I don't know which one it is. I hear it like moving around. It might be this one bolt wrapping.
Yeah, maybe someone getting uncomfortable and getting ready to lay.
No, it's the head Aussie girl. She's bowl wrapping right now. She must just be spinning around the bowl. That's a good sign.
Oh yeah,
I'll take that. That was a banana pie to OD leopard fire pastel yellow or asphalt head pie girl.
Fuck, it's a lineup.
I hope that fucking goes. She's essentially my powerhouse pied male, just in the head form. That's what she is. I think it's from the same. I believe it's from the same parents, just at 2 different years. This snake is a 2019, and the boy's a 2020.
Oh, thanks, Genomic Labs.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice people.
As he said, they got
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what projects are you excited about this year?
There's so many. I
Well, let's start here. What was your favorite pairing?
So I think my favorite male in rotation is a female maker banana desert ghost hepide.
Okay.
He's so far we got 2 clutches. One of them slugged out, but I got 1 clutch, 1 cinnamon hepide. So I'm hoping to get some female banana cinnamon pies, het desert ghost. But I also I bred him to, so I bred him to 2 Cindy hepides, a hepide, a lesser leopard pastel, 2 pieds, and a pastel pied het OG. Het OG. So he's with 7 girls. Hopefully,
how old is he?
I got him. What is he? He's a late 98. I think he was born December 98. I mean, 2018.
Oh, I was like, wait, hold on. This thing's fucking 24 years old?
Yeah. It was either 2018. Oh, no. Yeah, it was 2018 because I bought it the winter of 2019.
Gotcha. Right.
Or no, bought it in the winter of 2020. He was maintenance fed. He wasn't fed to breed. So when I got him, he was small.
Yeah. Well, my spider girl laid this year. She's 13 years old. I was pretty happy about that. She did work, man. When I picked her up, like you said, she was just maintenance fed by my old biology teacher, and she's only about like 1,900 grams. I got my hands on her. I started feeding her like a breeder would feed her, and she went from 1,900 to like 3,200 grams in like 6 months, bro.
they catch up. I mean, I'm a firm.
She dropped 11. She dropped 11 eggs for me, bro. That clutch weighed like 1,200 grams.
That's great.
Yeah, they're in there right now. They're doing probably about 3 weeks, give or take. So we'll see what happens. But she's probably already over 2,000 grams now. I'm happy about that. I had a good lock. I had 2 really good locks this week, bro. I had that Orange Dream Yellow Blade Pastel Fire Leopard Pied locked with my Pastel Clown Pied girl.
Nice.
So I'm really happy about that. And then that weird mystery Batman thing I got, the Pastel Butter Red Striped Leopard Clown, possible spot nose, possible het pied, locked with a normal pied girl last week, and then this week locked with a normal het clown, possible het pied girl. So we'll see if we prove him out. If not, we'll make some clowns, prove out what's in him, and if not, make double hets on the other side. So it should be good. Listen, if I can hit like a leopard red stripe pied het clown, that'd be fucking home run.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So that's one project I'm not in, but it's on my radar. The pied clowns.
Yeah, everyone's in it right now, but everyone's in it. And I've been discouraged by obviously my logo is a clown pied, right? And everyone's in it right now, and I've been discouraged by a few people. Like the market's going to go down, but like honestly, I didn't get into that project to make money. I mean, you can make money off them, right? The double recessives. I got into that project because I like it, and I think I've stacked genes pretty good where like I think the financial aspect of there will still be there while making some really nice fucking snakes. So I'm pretty happy about that. So if you
you can't judge. I mean, the market is so crazy. You know, it's nice, and everyone that's been that is a breeder that's been producing animals in the last year is definitely happy because you know COVID sales really brought them up.
Yeah, people get greedy, bro. Think about this. Let's say my pastel clown pied girl went this year to like a double het, right? And let's say I hit like a pastel leopard clown pied female. Like realistically, how much is that snake worth? $4,000 right now, $4,500, right?
Yeah.
Let's say I got $1,500 for that animal, which is a third of the price it should be going for. Chino, that's still $1,500 for an animal you produce. So people get like greedy and weird about shit. It's like, bro, if you're selling an animal to somebody who wants to be in this hobby, and you're selling it for 50%, 70%, and you're still making 17, 18, 2,500 bucks. What is the problem with that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely I drop prices for pet only. If I know that someone's buying it just as a pet,
Yeah.
I mean, I've sold really nice animals um to them because you could tell the passion was there. And I mean, the people, if they do it right, and the people that have that one snake, I mean, that one snake gets like beyond optimum care, you know? I mean, they're
Yeah.
really cared for.
Yeah.
Um
Listen, the more people in this hobby, the better this hobby is going to survive. And then again, on the financial side of it, the better we're going to do.
yeah, there's military discount with DMJ reptiles as well.
Yeah, you know what we should do? We should all do like a 15% discount or like 20% discount to like any first responder, nurses, not doctors though. They make $500,000 a year, and
Yeah.
like any military.
Oh, I always, you know, I gotta say, like, you know, I should have been a police officer, but unfortunately, I really liked smoking weed at that time of my life, so I decided not to. And I had everything in front of me too. That was the worst part about it. Is I had a job lined up with Scarsdale PD, and I chose to fucking be a waiter.
Yeah, but you know, go fuck yourself, Mike. But you know what it is? Listen, you followed a path. You got a great family. You got a great hobby. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
How about desk cops? Is that what it is? Yeah, you know, teachers, nah. Well, it depends. It depends on what kind of teacher it is. Varies. I don't even want to go in that category.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Teachers have changed. Listen, I'm 32 years old, and when I was in high school, teachers then were conservative people with values, and now I'm not trying to knock anybody, but a lot of teachers I hear from my generation are they're just spitting venom at these kids, and
Yeah.
it's just destroying a whole nother generation now.
Yeah, I mean, when we lived in Westchester, this is the only political thing I'll talk about on it. But when we were in Westchester, they did a you know, for the presidential race, they had everybody vote in the elementary school. So my son, Junior, he was in what was it? Now it's 5 years. So he was in second grade, I want to say, and he came home crying. And I
Why?
said, why are you crying? And he said, well, out of 400 students, only 3 students voted for Trump. And he looked at me and he said, well, I don't understand that. Why does, you know, I like Trump. So he was like, why you like him? You say all this good stuff about him, but how come all my friends voted against him and this and that? And I said, well, they just don't know. And I said, just wait, you know, just wait. And then when Trump won 2016, I woke him up at 3 a.m. and we celebrated, and he went to school smiling ear to ear because everybody was making fun of him for voting for Trump.
Yeah.
You know, and the teachers allowed it too, which was shitty. But
Yeah, you know, teachers should be there to here's the side of an argument, here's the other side of an argument. I'm going to teach you facts on both sides, and you determine what you want to be. But unfortunately, I feel like a lot of the schooling systems now are pushing one side of the agenda, which it shouldn't. That just shouldn't be. But I know you don't want to talk about politics and
Yeah.
stuff like that, so we'll move on.
So you got 5 clutches this year so far, right?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Well, I'm cutting my Batman clutch tomorrow. It's a killer leopard clown bred to spot-nosed leopard het clown. And got 6 eggs in there. It's day 54 today, day 55 tomorrow. And I felt them today. They feel about they feel like papery. So I'm going to cut them tomorrow morning, I think.
There you go, Joe. Some nice sea salt caramel bites.
That looks like 5 hours overtime for me.
5 hours overtime? Not anymore. Oh, actually, yeah, because it's California, right? So it's still considered.
Are they edibles?
Yeah.
So technically, any synthetic edible is a controlled substance.
Still?
They didn't. That shit was all just fucking just the actual leaf, bro.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Oh well.
I mean, if a cop pulls you over and he charges you CPCS for that, like he's just an asshole. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I partake like when I drink. I don't drink and drive, and I don't eat and drive either.
This girl's making me kind of nervous.
Looking at you like, hey.
Yeah, but she's supposed to be laying in like fucking 5 days.
Well, I got to say, ever since I put those cameras, so now I've been putting cameras in. I successfully shot the video of the Super Enchi pastel spinner dropping eggs.
Yeah.
And we fucked up and lost all the video. We lost it all. Everything. We had everything, start to finish. I thought that we can take the memory card out of the camera, transfer it into the computer. So I had my son do it, and if I would have seen it, I don't think I would have transferred it because I would have recognized that they weren't video files. There was some other file. So when he transferred it onto the computer, the files didn't open, and then we put the files back onto the card and back onto the Genie, Wi-Fi camera.
Yeah.
It was all lost.
That sucks.
But with monitoring these animals, like the camera was in there for like 8 days before she laid. Ball pythons, when they're approaching laying the eggs, are so fucking active. I mean,
well, that's what she's doing. I can hear her. She's doing laps in there right now, and she had a prelay shed. I'll tell you right now, she had a prelay shed. The 25th. 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we're on like day 24, 25 right now. Post ovulation, shed. So we'll see.
Oh, Carissa got tagged for the first time today. It's good. You've been deflowered.
This girl right here is good for biting me.
Oh yeah.
She's super powerful, dude. But she's just a trash eater, man. She's orange dream, yellow belly, pastel spider, head puzzle girl. And she's like 2 years old and like 700 grams. She's just not the best eater in the world at all, but like she's well worth the weight. So I guess
you'll get those.
What's that?
Yeah, those are the ones that you hope that, so like I've ran into that scenario where I have like older snakes where they're like 4 years and they're just hitting like 1,300 grams. And I'll throw a male in there. And as soon as you throw the male in, then all of a sudden they just start eating like fucking pigs,
I did that to the Aussie het girl because she was at like 900 grams, wasn't eating, but she's like 2 years old. I threw the banana pie in there just to do it for a day. Then I started feeding her. She was hammering rats. She ballooned up like 1,350. And then I started pairing her at 1,350. She's a little small, and now she's over 1,500 grams now, and she's been eating consistently, and she's been locking with that banana pie. So we'll see what happens. But I guess if that girl hits 1,000 grams, I'll throw a male in there just to mix it up a little bit with her.
Yeah, I mean, I've put in the male. If they're really small, what I like to do is I do like the Billy trick. So you know how like when Billy pairs his males, he pops them, cleans the hemipins, and then puts it on the snake. I'll do that, and I've noticed that boosts the eating as well. She's looking at you.
Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable.
And she ovulated. You're positive she ovulated and all that?
Oh yeah, dude. She looks like a balloon.
Oh, that's great.
She's been laying upside down, all types of weird shit. So she better go. I'll tell you that. What else we got next to me over there?
It's crazy how they are because I didn't notice. I didn't know because I just open the tub and you see them upside down.
Yeah.
But with the camera, I noticed that they roll around and then they fold over themselves and roll and that's how they push the eggs down the body before they're gonna lay.
Yeah, I the fucker just bit me. That's you see that?
Yeah.
That's I guess she'll go back in her tub. Yeah, it's almost like they use their body to push them down, right? I can't believe that fucking snake just bit me for no reason.
Oh, that's awesome. And what was that? Clearly you pied.
This is a big old normal pied. That's the one that locked with the possible het pied boy that I got, clown that I got from Joe. That snake's never show. What a fucking bitch.
That's nice. I love low white pies. That's my favorite is low white pies.
So you won't like this girl then. This is my special pied.
Yeah, you know what? Oh wow, it's really. And you know what? I can mess with that because it has that saddle on the back.
It's got the only thing it has right here on its tail, and then right here on its head. But what I like about its head, bro, the whole head's not. It's not like a spotted animal. Look at its face.
The white on the bottom is fucking crazy.
Can you see its head at all? There you go.
Yeah,
that's cool, right?
Hell yeah. I mean, I got high white pies. Got this one right here because I produced these last year. Cinnamon het pies. Cinnamon pies. Possible het albinos.
Oh, that's nice.
Whereas low white.
I like the one like saddle it's got going on there.
Yeah, it's got one bright saddle right there.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I actually its mother is the one that gave me the clutch with the female maker Banana Desert Ghost het pied.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. But it's funny. I didn't like pies.
Really?
I didn't. It took me years. I didn't get my first pied back into ball pythons for at least 3 years.
No shit. Yeah, I mean, I think that I have a normal pied up there. It's about 1,900 grams now. I think she was my third ball python in this whole adventure. But this is my pride and joy right here, Chino.
Oh shit!
This is my killer leopard clown pied female. She's that's my crown jewel right here. I love this animal.
Oh yeah.
Getting a little washed out looking, but super powerful. Big fan. Big fan.
Yeah, I recently bought a pied from a breeder that no one's produced a snake, so it's hard to know whether he's right or not. It was a female leopard mystic possible yellow belly pied.
I've never even.
She's all the way up there. If she didn't, I'd grab her if she didn't decide to skip her meal 2 days ago. So I'm gonna leave them alone.
Shoot me a picture. I'm curious to see what that looks like.
You would think that it would be like less, because with the leopard, kind of reduces the pattern with the pies.
Yeah.
But it didn't, and the mystic leopard pies are actually have different blushing, have a lot of blushing on it, and then as well as pattern. So we'll see. I mean, she's I think I got her up to about 1,000 grams right now. So hopefully next season we will that Banana Desert Ghost het pied will go to that.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be a really nice pairing.
Yeah, and it's a 60-40. I don't know. I'm into the low patterns. But this year we'll see what happens. We should have some cool looking pies. I'm hoping I got a clutch due soon. Yeah, I bred a what was it? Black pastel hepide that I produced.
Another asshole.
I produced in 2018. Now there you go. That's a good looking one.
Listen. So I keep my humidity in here at like 57 to 62% at all times. The
Yeah,
tubs get misted here and there, and I have no issues with sheds except for like 3 of my snakes. No matter what the humidity is, they always shed like shit. No matter what.
I got a couple snakes like that.
This girl will never shed completely, ever, never once. She's a killer Enchi blade clown, and without a doubt, every time I open a tub up after a shed, and it looks like a murder scene. There's just skin fucking everywhere. She'll never shed like the condom sheds ever.
Yeah, my head TSKs are like that. It's so fucking weird because, like, I'll see one as soon as her eyes cloud out, I'll like really wet the tub. Like the substrate will be fucking soaked, and I still get that the bottom half of the snake sheds perfect, and then the top half sticks, and that's what fucking peels off.
It's so weird, dude. It's so annoying. She does that. That blackhead pinstripe doublehead clown pie does that. The spider clown head exantic does that. They all there's like 3 or 4 of them that no matter what I do, they shed like shit. Then conversely, there's like 5 or 6 snakes where like as soon as they go in blue, the next day is a full complete shed.
Yeah, an old unrolled condom, perfect in there, right?
Yeah,
and then
insane,
how many females do you have in the clown pie project?
6. So I have a yellow belly Enchi double het. She's about 1,300 grams right now. I got a pastel clown pied. She's about 2,000 grams, 1,900 grams. I got the killer leopard clown. That's about, you just saw about 800 grams. I got the blackhead pinstripe double het clown pied.
Nice.
And then I got the GHI Mojave double het clown pied. Then I have that one normal girl that's het clown possible het pied. So that the clown
pie Mojave double head clown. See that one and the blackhead caught my attention.
Well, those are the last 2 pickups. Those are the last 2 ones I got. So I had seen the GHI Mojave double head clown pie. I love GHI Mojaves. What I wanted was GHI Mojave clown or like a Mojave clown, something like that. And she popped up, and then she happened to be local, and I had dealt with him with my original incubator. So I was toying back and forth between buying her or not buying her. And then Eric, and actually Sal sent me a pastel blackhead pinstripe double head clown pie female. And I was like, fuck, which one should I get? Long story short, they convinced me to get both of them, right? And originally I was going to get the pastel blackhead pinstripe double head clown pie from Renowned Reptiles.
Yeah.
And the day before he was going to ship it out to me, he resexed it, and it was a male. So I was like kind of like disheartened, but then honestly, I didn't want the pastel in it because I had pastel in 2 of my girls already, and pastel will most likely be in the male. I'm trying to make the male now with that Aussie Pied boy to the pastel clown girl, and he did the right thing, bro. He took a hold back that was just blackhead pinstripe and sent it over to me. So I could not be more appreciative of that. So right now, dude, I'm pretty happy with my codons on top of the clown pie project. It should because you got to figure right now in the girls, I got yellow belly Enchi, obviously pastel, leopard, blackhead, pinstripe, GHI Mojave, and hopefully I get orange dream, fire, and yellow belly from the male. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's a really powerful male.
Yeah, he's the one that was a problem, that I threw in the V18 tubs. And eventually he finally started to eat, so we'll see. He's about a year old and he's only like 530 grams.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That's all it needs. Dude, I successfully bred my second year. I successfully bred a 325 gram Enchi Lemon Blast to a 2,500 gram pastel.
How old was the male?
Less than a year.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep. And he sired that, and he sired that clutch, and then he sired with another pastel. He sired the trifecta, is what I call. a 3-sired clutch. It was a clusterfuck. I had three male sire the clutch. I got 8 eggs.
How'd you figure that out?
Because I'm an asshole, and it was like my second year, and I was like breeding everything, and I don't see a lock. I put another male in. I don't see a lock. I put another male in.
So did you have offspring from all 3 males?
Yeah. So I hit pastel banana. So the males was Enchi Lemon Blast, a fire spot nose pin, and a banana orange ghost. I got banana orange ghost. I got Enchi pastels. I got spot nose fires. It was fucking crazy. Like I cut every egg, and I'm going, this it had to have been the Enchi Lemon Blast. I see Enchi, right? Then I cut the next egg, and then I saw a fire spot nose. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? So I'm like, oh, this is weird. I think I got 2 that sired the clutch. I cut the last egg. I hit a fucking banana. And I was like, holy fuck, all 3 snakes sired the clutch. And that was the last time I've done that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had any dual-sided clutches, obviously, but I haven't ever given the snakes the opportunity yet.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think that's a rookie mistake that I did. It's one thing when you're breeding with like similar shit. So like out of my clown hypo project, I got a pastel clown head hypo and I got a clown head orange ghost. So the clown head orange ghost, I bought that snake in like 2016. It was a clown possible het OG and it proved out.
Oh, nice.
So now he's like so faithful. Like this fucking snake, I put him in, done. You know?
That's how my banana pied is, bro. Like I didn't get rid of him because the other snake obviously replaces him, right? There's no banana in there, but there's just too many. He's too powerful not to utilize in the pie project. And I kept him back just because he'll lock with a garden hose, bro. Everything I put him with, within like 10 minutes, he's locked. There's no foreplay with him, bro. I'm telling you, put him in a tub, within 10 minutes, he's locked with anything.
Yeah, he's just right into business. My pied het albinos like that. Like as soon as within minutes, the tails are already almost lined up.
He's lining himself up. Yeah, bro.
But banana pies, like so I bred a banana double het pied orange ghost to a black pastel het pie. So it's a little bit of it's het to het, which is not my favorite style of pairing. But at first I was going to sell all the bananas if I hit a banana pie because it's a male maker. I mean, that's one of those. Oh, if I hit the 4% and I get the female, I'm going to hold it back. But I'm not really worried about making females. I got a lot of female makers, and then I got two female bananas now, and But Sal was like, why would you sell all of them? Why wouldn't you just keep one? And that's why I like me and Sal's conversations, because we kind of like help each other reevaluate situations that on my own. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? A banana pied is a very wanted animal. Like people want them. That's like I'm noticing with shows, right? Bananas always sell.
Yeah.
They always sell. First, pet owners, like pet ball python owners want banana. They want bananas. They want pies. They want clowns.
Because to me, listen, if you get a normal and then you put an Enchi next to it, you and I can tell the difference right away, right? Everyone in this chat can tell the difference right away, right? But if you have a first-time ball python owner and they sit down, I hand them an Enchi and a normal, they might be like, there's something different about this one. But for the most part, they're not going to recognize the severity of the difference between the two snakes. When you get a banana in front of you, you get a clown in front of you, or you get a pied in front of you, there's a clear distinction and a clear fucking difference. So people are going to want that bright yellow snake opposed to the brown and black one,
Spider.
Dude, I love Spider. This is my Spider girl right here, bro. She's probably gonna fucking bite me.
Is that the one from your teacher?
Yeah, she's fucking feisty. Come here. She's older. Like I said, she's a 2008 or 2007. She gave me 11 eggs this year. Bro, look at her. No wobble, no weirdness. The tongue goes straight out, doesn't go down. There's no corkscrewing. She's as normal as can be, bro. There's no issue with this snake whatsoever. Like at all. She doesn't do anything. You take out my bumblebee girl, she's a fucking dirt, bro. That snake will hang out upside down. I have no idea where it is.
What's up, Eric? And Rebecca. Yeah, you know, I got plenty of spider, like, because what do I have? I have
You watch her.
I have an empty.
Now she's just gonna hang out. Normally she starts doing this crazy corkscrewing on me.
Put her on the spot. I know you're talking about me.
Yeah, more or less.
My only corkscrewer in my collection is actually not a spider. It's a Wuma.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got
that spider
Pastel.
gets the bad reputation.
Oh yeah, and then you know what?
Why do you think that is?
I don't. You know,
I think because there's more of them.
I think it's more of a common animal.
Yeah.
I mean, even the spot nose. I never noticed that. So I'm noticing now that my spot nose collection. So I bought the fire spot nose pinstripe. That was a Ben Rennick reptile. And after what happened to him, how he got really, his fucking wife is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. That snake kind of has like sentimental value to me, like I'll never get rid of that snake.
Yeah.
But I have noticed that now that snake's like 4 years old, she has mild wobble.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? It's Woma, Spider, Champagne, right? It's all the same shit.
Woma, Spider, Champagne, Hidden Gene Woma, well, all the Womas.
Yeah.
Spot nose. Spot nose is up.
I've never heard that, I've never heard Spot Nose does its own thing.
Oh yeah, that's why the Powerball. That's why you don't see a lot of Powerballs, because the Super Spot Nose have bad wobble.
It's not. I thought Super Spot Nose is lethal.
No, people have them.
Yeah,
but it's bad.
Yeah, I've seen
people
some.
Have them.
I was in Country Critters, which is a really good pet store over near us in Patchogue. Really good place. I'm not knocking them at all. By fucking no means am I knocking them. They had a banana spider in their store to sell, and its equilibrium was so bad, dude. It was literally laying upside down. So like I thought it was dead. It was just laying upside down, And it was just, I felt like it was just kind of like a bad look for like the hobby and like the reptiles, because like if you didn't know any better, you're like, this fucking animal's dead. But it was so. I mean, that's just an animal that shouldn't be bred. You know what I mean? I think I'll tell you this. When I first got, I had a white wedding for a little bit, and he had wicked bad wobble, really bad corkscrewing. The more I fucked with him, and the more I held him, and the more comfortable he got, the smoother he became. So this girl over here is 13 years old, and she used to be held a lot because he used to use her for shows and bring him to school and shit like that. I don't know how often a bumblebee was held, but the more I fucked with the white wedding, the more calm he got. So I feel like it's more like a nervous tick. Like they have this neurological disorder, right? But if that animal feels comfortable, I don't think they exhibit it as much. Where if the animal's nervous, then it starts doing its own thing.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that too. Especially like, so was it my NG Bumblebee, my Stinger Bee? Those are snakes I had for a while. I've had them for 6 years, and those are the snakes that I had. Those snakes before I even had 20 snakes.
Yeah. So
like when you only have 10, 20 snakes, you're holding them all the time. Right. Once you start getting into triple digits, then it's a little bit different. But you'll get you'll get your random. So my Enchi spider, I've had 3 clutches with her now, and I've had snakes come out that are absolutely perfect, and then I've had snakes that had like really bad wobble. Where I sell them, I end up wholesaling them as pet onlys.
So you don't think like it's you think it's genetic or no? You think if they have the gene, they could be bad, they could be good? Well, in other words, this girl right here, right? I just showed you the big old spider girl. She has like no wobble, no corkscrewing, no nothing, right? Do you think her offspring that have spider will be the same way? Or do you think it's a crapshoot?
I think it's crapshoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so like all my first, I produced, what was it? My first year or second year, maybe second year, I produced a bunch of yellow belly banana spiders. None of them had wobble. But then same pairing, the following year I had wobble.
That's weird.
So I mean, I think it happens. I think it comes with the territory. But I mean, talking about wobble, like I've never had a snake with wobble that didn't eat.
No, dude, Shelby, stop crying. No, dude, my bumblebee is a savage. The only spider that's a bad eater is this orange dream yellow belly pastel. They have puzzle girl. Go lay down, honey. Go lay down. She wants attention.
But then,
yeah. Right now, my back's against this wall, right? I have the 2 racks here, side to side, and then the far right corner, my door is open, and the hallway lights off. So I see these 2 glowing eyes. I see the outline of her head, and I hear her whining for no reason whatsoever. She looks like Dalby, like an evil Dalby from like Harry Potter, like fucking crying.
Dubby?
Dobby, whatever. You know,
Dubby.
The little elf thing.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing. I'll keep breeding spider. I like spider. I think that there's something that so there's like, I always call it the wow factor, right? So like you can have a basic 2 gene animal that when you look at it, you get that wow, oh, this is fucking nice, you know?
Look at this bumblebee, dude. This is just pastel spider, and it's just such a cool looking creature.
Yeah.
You know, now she's doing it. See?
Yeah.
She's upside down.
Yeah, they're great animals, and I mean, then you start throwing. I also think that when you stack them, I believe that it lessens the wobble. So like my super Enchi,
you think
my
so?
my super Enchi pastel spinner has 0 wobble, none.
No shit.
Yeah, but then I mean at the same time, like so last year I produced a super Enchi, what was it? Super Enchi spinner, and I ended up selling that as a pet only for like $100 because it did have really bad wobble. What up, Max?
This is the girl I keep hearing right here, Gina. Can this thing get longer or no?
Flick it.
Stand by. Yeah.
The only spider I'm not interested in is the spides. I don't know why.
Well, I like the white weddings.
I mean, they're cool, but I think I'm just biased because I don't like, I like low white. You know, low white is like my favorite.
Yeah, I go back and forth. Like there's sometimes it's really nice.
Sorry, I got excited. I got my first super chat in months. Thanks, Meg.
There you go.
Yeah. We like super chats.
Okay.
Chino's poor. What were you saying? Sorry, I cut you off. I
I remember.
he threw money at me. I got excited.
Like, that gets you. So, I don't know. I feel like it's something really nice to see an all white snake or a high white snake, but at that point, just get a bell, you know?
Yeah. And bells are, and then you got all these different complexes, which I didn't. It's so funny because, like, you learn every day, right? And if you're not learning every day, then you're doing something wrong. You're an asshole. You got to learn. That clutch that just hatched out for me, it was super pastel mystic yellow belly to a pastel Mojave, and I'm like, I'm looking, I'm like, I think I hit a bell, and I'm in a group chat. I'm like, oh man, I hope this guy's not wrong, and it's not a mystic, it's a Mojave, and I hit a fucking bell, and then everyone in the chat starts making fun of me because they're like, dude, a mystic potion is a bell. And I was like, no fucking shit. I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
And I actually, that was my first bell that I've produced. And I don't know why. It's just, for some reason, I've never been able to produce a bell. It just never, it's always an egg absorption,
I'll show you right now. I produced my first bell. I'll go grab her. There she is.
What kind of bell is she?
Well, she's Mojave butter. Possible banana, possible enchi, possible pastel, possible black pastel, possible trick. So
you got to do the black light to see if she's banana.
I ordered one, and I don't have batteries for it, so I'm getting batteries tomorrow. So we're gonna find that out tomorrow, Chino. If I see like an enchi trick like pattern on her, she's gonna stay. Bells are cool though, aren't they?
They are, man. What I produced was I'm pretty confident that it's a super pastel mystic potion possible yellow belly. And it's really, really cool because the even like the lines by the head are like ghosted. It's like ghost flames almost on it.
Yeah.
I can't wait till it sheds. That's what I'm really looking for. Con worker.
This guy's locking up on me, but Chino, this is probably my best snake from my first clutch.
Fucking like purple.
Dude, this is what I believe to be a pastel super banana enchi trick, possible Mojave.
Oh shit.
Bro, he looks like a highlighter. I mean, this camera's not doing him justice. I'll send you pictures. He's so bright, bro. Like the yellows are like bright yellow, and then like the purples are bright purple. It's insane. Someone already sent me a deposit on this guy.
Nice. Oh, isn't that great? Oh, there you go. Right now, it likes that angle. Oh, that's beautiful.
Sick looking snake, dude.
It's great, man. Isn't it cool to go in a rack and say,
yeah,
I made this happen with my influence?
Yeah, more or less. This girl's pretty cool too, bro. She's the most like simple snake that was out of that clutch. She's just like a Mojave trick. But yeah, pretty happy.
It was nice. The trick made the blacks darker and
and it
brought out the brown and yellow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's nice. Trick is something that's not in my collection yet.
Dude, well, trick. I mean, like in that clutch, I'll give you a rundown of what I think I hit in that clutch. I'm gonna do a video about it next week and show them all off. So trick to me, I think trick is the same as Hurricane and Blitz. The only thing I'll say is this: I have noticed that Hurricane kind of swirls a little bit more, where trick kind of like caves on itself, like the alien heads come up and then down. You know what I'm saying to you? Where like Hurricane kind of twists. But it's like the same exact fucking thing. 'Cause I've seen some trick like Hurricane and vice versa. But we'll see. I want to work it into my clown stuff. That's what I really want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these genes, it's kind of like the argument with like banana, Coral Glow, or even, I mean, look at Pastel. There's all variations. I mean, all these animals are being bred, and then you got people that are breeding them just to breed them. You got people that are breeding and holding back traits that they produce, and then trying to expand on that with line breeding and all of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you're talking like 5 years and then 10 years and then 15 years down the road, like that original animal can be stretched in 100 different directions by 100 different breeders. So, you know, I think when it comes to whether they're the same is where you got to breed them together and then see what the super forms look like and then work them out that way, you know?
Well, this guy Joe hooked me up on, the mystery clown. You've seen him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really nice.
We don't know what it is, but we're going to try to breed it out next year. I'm going to get him ready, and he's going to go to a whole lot of females next year.
It's good. Holy shit. Sal commented again? Holy fuck. I got to save that. Look at that. Trick Daddy.
That would be pretty cool. You're crushing Sal tonight, huh?
Yeah, that's my bud.
What else you got over here?
It's because he listens to my because we'll talk about the live streams after, and then and then he'll be like, "Oh, I just didn't comment." I'm like, "Why didn't you comment?"
Yeah.
Was that OD clown of some sort?
High OD yellow belly fire clown. Like we were talking about the variations of different genes. Like, you know, Ozzy's obviously the godfather of Orange Dream, right? We can all kind of agree on that. He was selling animals. I had a conversation with him about high OD, and he was selling animals that were super OD. But then when people would breed them in a couple of years, they weren't producing all Orange Dreams. He's like, what the fuck? Like you said, it's the same, like, pretty much the same color enhancer, but one was just a lot more vibrant than the other one. That's why he'll sell some animals as OD, some as super OD, and some as high intensity Orange Dream.
Yeah, I got an animal that I hope it proves out to be high OD. I don't think so. I think it's super OD, but when Ozzy talks about his neighbor sells a lot of snakes to my buddy, and that's who I got the snake from. So, like, that whole video that Ozzy did about how he sold a bunch of super ODs to his neighbor, and then they didn't prove out.
Yeah.
I have the grandchildren of those babies.
Okay, so you know, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's wild. And OD. I mean, I think of Ozzy. Like, I was actually talking to Sal about this the other day. I think I would say Ozzy has really, out of all the genes out there, right?
Yeah.
He is the one that really did everything to the T when it came to marketing and breeding and holding back and before releasing to the public and building this fucking army of Orange Dream. Because you look at him now and it's like, look at all these, like, his biggest thing are these, like, he had like 2 clutches of just super OD. What were they? Super OD.
The super OD,
Enchy, yellow belly, desert ghost pies.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's like fucking 8 years, 10 years.
Oh yeah.
Before that's even, you know.
I always look at it like this. If guys like Ozzy and guys like Justin are posting a snake online to show us, they probably had that snake for a little bit now. In other words, even though they're showing us a hatchling, if they're releasing that animal, they probably have an adult version of that snake. They're like Justin, like the shit he's showing us now, he probably has been in the works, and he's already like 3 or 4 clutches or 3 or 4 years of breeding past that point. You know what I'm saying?
There he is, Vinny Meyer. That's who I got my super OD from, Pastel Super OD. Yeah, and I mean, have you gone to, like, have you ever seen Justin snakes? Like, have you gone to a show and seen his snakes?
I have not.
it's fucking unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these guys, like, so who had really, so best dressed balls, um, CD constrictors, JD constrictors, Steve's Morphs, Bob Vu, the Python Shed, Justin, JKR, like, it really going when I went to Arlington, I got to see all these breeders and see all their fucking tables and their displays and their setups, and I'm very proud of my setup.
Dude, your setup was great. When I watched Sal's video where he surprised you up in New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Dude, your setup looked legit as fuck, bro.
It's good, and I'm proud of it, and I definitely want to try to be professional. But you look at these guys' setups and you look at these displays of their animals, and to see these snakes in person is fucking crazy. I mean, I can't wait. I'm young. This is my 6th year breeding. I'm small potatoes. You know, it takes time. You know, especially like I'm homegrown. A lot of my combos are all stuff I produced in 2017, 2018, a whole back, and then stacking them, and then I bring in genes when I can, and eventually I'll be able to bring in cool shit. But what motivation to look at these displays, and you see these snakes that are like,
well,
unreal.
You know, again, I'm fortunate enough to where I'm paid decently well for my 9 to 5. You know what I mean? And to have a hobby that bare minimum can pay for itself, and then possibly down the line make money for you, it literally doesn't get better than that, right? Because like there's days where I come in here, I put on music, I have beer, I have coffee, depending on the time of the day, and like I'll clean up snake shit, rat shit. I'll go through, I'll weigh snakes, and 2 or 3 hours go by, and it's building a collection, it's building a business, it's taking care of quote unquote investment ball pythons, but yet I'm enjoying every second of it. It literally doesn't get better than that. There's no time I come in here where I'm like, fuck, I don't want to be in here doing this shit right now. Like me and you on a Friday night, beautiful Friday night, we're bullshitting about snakes. I'd rather be doing this to be at a bar. I'd rather be in here cleaning up snake shit, changing out water and looking at snake eggs and looking at the hatchlings than do anything else. And if that hobby can, you got guys that have like 4 or 5 Harleys, and you got guys that have like 10 fucking cars, and that hobby doesn't give back to you. This is like one of those rare occurrences where this hobby pays for itself and can give back to you. Like it's just a fucking home run.
I used to joke around. I was like, people are like, I can't believe you breed snakes. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's like growing weed, but legal.
Bro,
I
try to explain it to people. Like my sergeant, I've been working on him for 7 years. He's a really good dude. He takes care of me. I make good overtime with him any days off I want. He hates reptiles. So when it comes to this whole snake breeding thing, for the last 2.5, 3 years, I got fucking heckled. Bro, when I go to the bar, I spend a lot of money. Like a lot of fucking money. You're laughing. Like if I go out to the bar, it's a $300-$400 night. And it's just
holy shit. I used to be like that, but now, I think having 3 kids kind of changes everything.
Oh, dude, like I said, I don't have kids. I got snakes and a dog, and as of right now, I'm single and I'm kind of doing my own thing, and it gets convoluted at times. But anyway, my sergeant fucking hates snakes. Legit laughs in my face. When he found out I had a YouTube channel, laughed in my fucking face. I said, listen, I was like, YouTube to me is like Instagram or Facebook. You know what I'm saying? It's another social media platform to document your journey and meet people and so, whatever. And dude, I make $250 off of YouTube a month right now. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm documenting my journey and I'm meeting people. I met you and Sal and Joe and Ozzy and all these different people. And plus it's kind of free marketing for the business. You know what I'm saying to you? But
yeah,
I sold a snake yesterday. I took a deposit on a snake. I'm getting $950 for this animal. Okay. The super banana pastel, black pastel, fucking trick, Enchi, possible Mojave. Okay. For $900, I'm paying for shipping. So 800 and change. Now I spent $500 on the male. And I spent $300 on the female. I got lucky with the female and the male. $800. That one snake pays for those 2 animals. Yeah. Never mind the other clutches that he's fathering, and never mind the 6 other snakes in there. Where else are you going to find that in a hobby?
Oh yeah.
You're not. You're simply not.
And those euphoric moments,
Oh, it's so cool.
finding eggs, putting the eggs in the incubator, the eggs pipping or cutting, and they come out like even the shed. I mean, I'm fucking dying right now. That clutch hatched out last week. They still haven't fucking shed, and I'm like checking twice a day to try to catch them shedding.
Yeah,
and it doesn't get old.
No. I have no qualms about it. I say I am very much a rookie. I am very much a novice. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And I'm trying to bulldoze my way through this. And I jumped all into this. But when I popped open that 6-quart tub 2 weeks ago, and I literally had 7 little heads looking at me, and they all fucking looked different, bro, I felt like a child. Like, my best friend's my tenant. He's downstairs. What the fuck is this snake doing? Bro, that pastel enchi pie is just fucking spinning, dude.
Yeah, she's pushing them eggs down, man.
Yeah, she's getting ready for me. That'll be my first
pie 5 days.
Yeah, so. 4 or 5 days. That's my first pie clutch. But bro, I ran down there. I woke his ass up. I made him come up here and film it. I was like a fucking kid, bro. It was the coolest feeling in the world. It's like it really is. As cliche as it is, people always say it. It's living art. You're taking this one animal with X genes, this other animal with these genes, put them together, and you got 7 different snakes in there that are all. Man. I mean, I fucked up, and there's 9 codoms involved in this fucking pairing, but like, it's just, oh yeah, dude, it's just, I'm trying to ID these things. That's why a lot of these animals, like, if I part ways with them, it's going to be, like I said, I know it's
possible this, possible that.
Yeah, it's going to be like, I know it's Coral Glow, Black Pastel, and Enchi. It might have this, it might have this, and it might have this. The only thing I'm 100% certain on is the bell. I know it's butter. I know it's Mojave.
Yeah.
And it could be 5 other things in it. Who knows? Someone was telling me that if you take a light and you put it to its eyes and the eyes all red, it's banana. So
you got to look it up. Shane did a video on that.
I got to look.
That's what I was saying. You got to do the light. Shane did a video on that last season.
I got to go find it then. I got to go find it because if she's a fucking banana, she's staying. If I hit it with a black light and she's got like Enchi and Trick pattern on her, she's staying.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I got into the female bananas really late. I got my first female banana last year. Banana
I only have one.
Yeah. But then you have a female maker male?
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I have two. So I believe I hit 2 super bananas, maybe 3 super bananas in there. They're all males. But my understanding is because it obviously came from a male, and that they'll be female makers now.
Yeah, they'll be female makers.
Correct.
You'll know if they're super banana if they have spots. If spots show up, then it's likely not a super banana.
Correct. So the reason why I think they're super banana, the one's like purple. So I don't know about him. The other 2, the one I showed you, I think is super banana because he has almost, bro, when you look at him, he literally looks like a highlighter. He's so crisp and like bright, and it could be the pastel, but I'll send you pictures. He looks like almost translucent. It's insane.
You're not keeping any of the males?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I might keep the one that I believe is Coral Glow, Black Pastel, Trick, Enchi, possible Mojave. Well, I got the fucking dad, dude. The dad's a savage.
You know what it is?
Look at this fucking thing, bro.
I mean, he's gorgeous, but he's not a female maker.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
But he's a male maker.
It's a male maker, exactly. Female maker is I mean, because you're saying earlier that you're planning on doing the Long Island show. That'll be your first show, right?
Yeah.
Banana sell, man. Banana sell. They just I can't tell you how many people come to my table and be like, "Oh, do you have any bananas?"
Yeah. Listen, if there's like the one guy that hit me up for that super banana, if he
really, no, Bailey. I mean Bailey. DK said that. Billy said that. So I heard the opposite.
Yeah, I heard if it's a super banana, it's a female maker.
Yeah, I heard that as long if any male comes out of a female, but I mean, I haven't experienced it, so I wouldn't know.
Right. I guess we'll find out. But he also went to he went to the big Spider Girl clutches from him, and also that's it. Only 2 clutches, 3 clutches. I might put him. I got this girl right here, Pacino. It's really late in the season. She's gonna bite me. She's about 3 years old. She's about 1,600 grams. She's a butter, right? She's never been paired, nothing. I was thinking about putting her with that Coral Glow Black Pastel, the Trick Mojave guy. Maybe hit a couple more bells. But it's a little late in the season now to start pairing them up.
I mean, I breed all year round. I feel like the old school way, which is what I did for my first few years breeding, was your temp drops. You know, you start your temp drops in October, November, and you kind of got all your clutches at once, and you'll get like a random clutch later. Now I don't do temp drops at all. I reevaluate. I readjust my thermostats when the heat turns on and when the AC turns on. That's when I change the thermostats because everything's in the house.
What do you keep your reptile room at?
So I don't have a reptile room. I have a reptile house. We don't have a facility yet, and we don't have a room for it, unfortunately. So what I actually do is, I can show you right here. My house stays at like 72 degrees, but I put tarps on the racks.
Oh, keeps it heated.
Yeah, so that keeps my ambient temp at like 80 degrees in my tubs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. I don't know what I just
did. My problem right now, so I have AC. Like, I'll show you. Look. Right? So, like, yeah. I have the AC in here. I keep the so I leave for work, it'll be like 76 degrees in here, right? And that's me turning the AC off, just gets cool at night, right? Now, if I turn the AC on before I leave for work, so it stays around 79 degrees in here, it'll drop to like 72 degrees in here before it starts to heat up again. So I'm at that weird point in like the spring, summertime where it's cold enough in the morning where I put the AC on, it drops down in here, and then by the mid-afternoon, it regulates itself to like 79 degrees. So I'm still trying to iron that shit out.
Yeah, it's tough when you're battling because you're heating it everywhere, and then now you're, air circulation. I mean, there's so many different variables to balance all that out.
I know guys that keep their reptile rooms at like 72, 73 degrees.
It's possible, but I feel like if you do that, you probably should have antibiotics on hand,
right?
Because you're gonna get RIs. They're gonna show up. It's not if, it's when, because I've lived that. But when it comes back to pairing, I'm very visual with my animals. So once I start seeing cold seeking, it's not a mastered art. But when a snake is cold seeking and you're seeing her on the cold side, like majority of the time, and she's bull wrapping and she's showing all those behaviors, very restless, that's when I pair them. And that's why I have clutches all year round. It peaks, but I try to breed all year round just for the sheer fact that it gets crazy when you have like 60 hatchlings.
Yeah, no, I'm with that.
And you're feeding I feed my hatchlings every 5 days.
Yeah.
So it gets nuts. Then you're battling rodent production and all of that. But cold seeking is always, I'll look and I'll say, oh, look, she's in the front. And then tomorrow I'll look, oh, she's in the front again. Then I feed her. She eats. She slams the food. She goes on the hot side that night. And the next day she's back on the front, cold seeking.
Yeah.
Right. And you know that they got a rodent in them. So they should be on the hot side. But she's cold seeking now. Now she's really cold seeking because she's on the cold side. that's when I'll throw in the mail, to try to keep it going because, like I said, I mean, I got a real reality check. I've the most clutches I've hatched within a month was like 3. So when I got to 34, I had a ball python clutch that hatched like a month before, and then I got the 34 boas, and then now I got another clutch. You know, it gets crazy. Now the incubator already has 7 clutches in it.
Yeah, I mean, I have room right now for like 104 hatchlings.
Nice.
I have 104 V18 tubs, but honestly, dude, having like these snakes to be hatched soon and stuff like that, to have one of those racks like filled up, that's a lot of fucking work, man.
Oh yeah, and they eat more.
Yeah,
like they eat more frequent. They shit more frequent.
yeah.
You know, they shed more frequent. They and the hatchlings always push shit into the water. And I don't know about
they're
you.
a disaster.
I can't help it, man. That water's dirty. It has to be changed. You know.
Yeah. Very rarely will you see like dirty water in my tubs. Like sometimes I open it up and I'll have like a yellow like water, and it's just she happened to push because they get bare minimum every Sunday. They get new water, bare minimum.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's Sunday and Wednesdays. Fresh water. I don't know. I've been a big advocate of that since I started this whole thing. But anyway, I feel like when you look at like guys like Billy and like Justin, and Ozzy like pretty much does it by himself. He's got Bane helps and stuff like that. But like, can you imagine having like a couple hundred hatchlings and having to do that by yourself?
If I didn't have my wife and Junior, I mean, my wife's the original. Me and her have been doing this for years.
Yeah.
And I mean, she still does the rodents. We do the rodents together. She won't touch a rat. She won't fucking touch it. But she'll clean the bins. And that works for me because I prefer to touch rats and clean bins. So it's a 2-man show, and you know, we have 72 rodent bins, and we can clean them in less than 3 hours. So we have that aspect.
Yeah, system.
But Junior really stepped it up. I mean, he's gonna be 13 in a few months, and as soon as Junior punched in, it was like a tag team match. Like my wife tagged him in and said, "Fuck this." So now it's like mainly me and Junior. Me and Junior do everything with the snakes. And then Amanda's more involved with the geckos. She prefers the geckos, and her project is actually the bunnies. She loves the bunnies. So she's the one doing all the breeding, and we just kind of work together with the breeding, but it's mainly her. But yeah, if I didn't have all them, forget it. I can imagine. I mean, a 1-man show, it's especially if you're breeding your food too, you know, because that's like another aspect that just gets a little crazy.
That's a whole. You're right. I mean, thankfully, like I kind of grew pretty organically. Like it was like 10 snakes, then I had 20 for a while, then it was like 30, then it was like 35 and 40, and then up to like the 60 range. So like I've slowly adjusted over time. Where it used to take 20 minutes, now it takes an hour and a half. I know some guys that they went from like 5 snakes to 150 snakes in like 6-7 months. And it's kind of like, how do you adjust to that, to taking care of that many animals?
Vinny's a 1-man show. He's a 1-man show, over 100 snakes, rodent breeding facility, whole 9.
Is that what he does full time?
He's retired now.
Nah. Did his time somewhere.
He's the one that introduced me to the world of averaging 20 to 25 rat babies a litter.
Okay, they got.
That's what I was talking about early.
Right.
When I was looking for rats, I met Vinny off of a fucking Craigslist ad, and then I found out we had the same amount of snakes, and he had 10 less colonies than me. So I ended up buying. His rats were just so much more productive, and then my rodent room was also going in the high, the mid 80s. So when I adjusted temperature and was more focused on climate, whether it was keeping it warm in the winter and keeping it cold in the summer, my production went up, as well as bringing in the bloodlines that he has, because his bloodlines, I mean, no joke. I've had I've had I think my record was a 33 pup litter.
Wow.
33 rat pups from a fucking litter. And there's only it's all him. I mean, that's his bloodlines that I crossed with my bloodlines and then bred those together. And I'm very systematic with my rodents. I only hold back rodents that are visually what I like and are from large litters, especially the females, because if a female comes from a 25 pup litter, the odds are she's going to be producing those 25 pup litters,
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, the one man army, I can't wait till Jenny, Jenny's 7. I think she's got one more year before I actually start working her.
Yeah.
But she's hands-on and she's fearless. Like,
you gotta get it out of her now. Yeah,
Junior's a chicken shit. The Bubas are absolutely vicious, like really vicious. Like they're finally calming down now that they're on their like 6th meal.
Yeah,
but like 5 meals and less, they are just hissing
savages,
squaring up animals. And I had Junior. We were moving snakes into the racks from tubs into the regular racks because I put snakes. I like to keep my snakes in the incubator. Just something that I do. I'll give them. I put tubs right in the incubator. I give them their first 4 meals, 5 meals in the incubator. The only time they get kicked out is when they're too big, or I have too many clutches. That a clutch has to go in and the snake's got to come out, right? So I have all these boas, and I was like, all right, we had to make 8 spots. So I had Junior do them, move them into the bin, and Junior was so scared because as soon as you open the bin, fucking things, they start what's it called? And they start just ready to attack as soon as you open it.
Yeah, they perk up on you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Junior's like I'm using like 2-ounce cups, the blue cheese cups for wings. I'm using those for water bowls. And Junior's using that to like the snake's face to try to grab it from behind.
It's like a lion and like a chair. Like you're just like poking it away.
And he's trying his best. And me and Jenny are calling him a chicken shit, making fun of him. And Jenny is just like, get out of the way. Goes, grabs the snake, puts it right in the FB5.
That's awesome.
I don't know how. She grabbed 5 snakes. All 5 snakes struck at her, and all 5 snakes missed her. Like, total luck. Didn't get bit. Where Junior, he actually officially got bit for the first time, and he's been working with the snakes now since he was, 7. It's so funny, but it didn't even draw blood.
Yeah, sometimes it's like they just hit you, and like I've only had one ball python ever latch onto me. I actually posted a picture today on Instagram. Most of the time, it's like before with the pie, it like bites you and like just like moves on. I've only had it one time where it bit me and it actually latched onto me. Only one.
Yeah, that was weird. That was like on your forearm, right? Yeah. Where it caught you.
Yeah. Very strange.
Knock on wood. It's never happened to me, man.
Bro, it bit me and wouldn't let go. Didn't try to coil. It was just
held on.
Just an asshole. I remember looking at the guy and just being like, I don't want this one. He's like, no, I'm so sorry. I'm like, yeah, this one's a piece of shit, dude. Like, I don't want this one at all. But
I got a clown that's a piece of work. That one. I mean, she is from when I unboxed her when she was delivered to even till this day. Like I was like, oh, she'll grow out of it, Yeah. Because hatchling school are nippy, No, she didn't grow out of it, man. She's 800 grams of asshole. She's just as soon as you take her out, like if I take pictures of her, she's just hissing the whole time. Ready to striking at the camera while I'm taking pictures. I mean,
I don't have one that bad. The head puzzle girls like that, but not crazy bad. When Rob was living here, he had a raven. If you went anywhere near that snake, it would try to bite you.
Really?
It just that snake was a complete dickhead. Like, didn't matter if she was out in her tub, if she ate, if she didn't eat, didn't matter. That snake would try to bite you no matter what.
See, I can't. I mean, I get bit all the time, but I've never had one latch. Not a ball python. I've had.
Yeah,
I
I'm
have
not really sure
other
why
animals
that happened.
latch.
He had it was at Jungle Bob's, and I was just gonna pick up. I didn't have anything at the time. I was just gonna buy something, and I said, "Do you have any like sub adults, like something a little bigger than a hatchling?" And he showed it to me, and as soon as my forearm got near it, bro, it just fucking latched on. It wouldn't let go. I went into the bathroom. I had to run underneath water. It just wouldn't let
my
go.
God.
And
Yeah, you need scope. That works the best. Mouthwash.
the alcohol, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jungle Bob.
We got him off, but it was a little. Like I said, I've never seen a ball python bite a human and like actually hold on.
Does he at the store? Does Jungle Bob wear the getup? Or he just looks like a normal person at the store?
Oh no! If you you want the truth about Jungle Bob? I will never go there, so I really don't give a shit. I'll tell you my honest opinion about that place. I've seen him there a couple times, and he wears the hat and everything else.
The whole outfit, right? The fucking like he's
dude,
Steve Irwin.
Yeah, I bought 3 mouse hoppers from there once for hatchlings last year, and he charged me $18 for 3 mouse hoppers.
What the?
But I'll tell you a story. You want to hear an interesting story about him? Or the store? I used to be big into turtles. This is about 10 years ago. I used to be big into turtles. I went there to buy a Wachita map turtle. They have it looks like Mississippi map turtles, but they have like the white eyes. Really cool looking animals. They're not expensive. They're like $65. Okay, they don't get that big. Not as big as a slider. Went there. I bought it. I was like, yeah, I want one of these Wachita map turtles. I don't care what it is. I just like them in general. He put it in a box for me. I took it home. I never looked at it, and that's my fault. But buying from like a professional reptile store, you don't expect certain things. You know what I'm saying? I got it home and it had shell rot.
I knew what you were say.
Bad, Chino. Like it was almost eating through the entire underside of his carapace. So I was like,
"There's no recovering that shit."
You can put antibiotics on it, and it can stop it, but the animal's already damaged.
Hard and yeah.
So I called them up. I brought it in. I'm like, listen, no big deal. It happens. They're like, oh, they took it to the vet. Who knows? They gave me credit to the store. I called, bro, over like 6 months. I called up any Wachita map turtles, any Mississippi map turtles, blah, blah, blah. No. Finally, I happen to be in the area. I go in there, and I have the credit with me, and I give it to one of his employees. Look, if you have any Wachita map turtles. The guy goes, yeah, I have one. You want it? I was like, yeah, just give it to me. Like, whatever. He hands it to me. He hands me a black knob sawback map turtle, which is like a $300 turtle. They literally, like, the back of their shell goes up like this, goes up and down, and then it has like spikes in the back. And this thing was about this big. Now in New York State, they can't sell them under 4 inches, right? 3 or 4 inches.
4 inches.
Like a $50,000 fine. So I'm like, all right, fuck you guys. You guys made me sit around for 7 months. You sold me a dying fucking turtle, and you could have just ordered me another Wachita map turtle. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like it was like wintertime where you couldn't get them. So I took it and I left. And this is before PD. This is like 10, 11 years ago. He calls me up, and he starts threatening me on the phone. Bring that turtle back in. That's a $300 turtle. I owed you a $70 turtle. I told you I was going to get you one. I said, bro, it's been 7 months. Your employees gave me this one. Like, it kind of is what it is. Now, I would never have been that way until he threw the attitude at me. You know what I'm saying? So then he's like,
got big.
So I was like, listen. He was like, that's a $300 turtle, and I'll take legal action, blah, blah, blah. I said, I would love for you to take legal action. And then you could explain why you sold the turtles under 4 inches. Don't ever show your face in my fucking store again. And he hangs up. So I didn't go back in there for like 10 years. Finally, he has no idea who I am. You know what I mean? But that's my Jungle Bob story.
Jungle Bob. The only reason why I know Jungle Bob is because he used to vend White Plains.
Yeah.
And he goes in his whole Steve Irwin outfit, the big hat. And he would crack me up because he's a total creeper. Because he has like a roll of stickers, and when you walk by, he sticks stickers on people. but like random, like he like randomly just like me and my wife were there, and he just like puts a sticker on her shoulder, and I kind of looked like who the fuck is this guy touching my wife?
Well, when that juvenile bit me, right, and then I bought a hatchling from him, a normal hatchling, and now knowing what I know, that snake probably never had a meal ever. Okay, it was legit a normal hatchling. They either produced there, or they bought, and they stole it to me for $80, right? And I gave it a hopper, ate a hopper, then had another hopper, then it regurgitated and it died on me. And again, knowing what I know now, they sold me a snake that never had any meal. What the fuck are these rats doing? I never had a meal ever.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of these pet stores. They want to get them cheap.
Yeah, but do the right thing by the people, the customers, and the animals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but unfortunately, a lot of pet stores have the mentality where they don't give a fuck about the snake. They care about the tank, the lights, the substrate, the vines, the fucking cave, and they're looking at that. The $80 is bullshit. They're going to sell a $400 setup for that $80 snake, and if the $80 snake dies, now they have a $400 setup. They're going to buy another snake because they already made that massive investment in that setup, right?
I never looked at that. You're absolutely right. Because when I went in there, it cost me about like $270 for the whole setup. And I got a 10-gallon tank, a heat pad, and a fucking water bowl and a hide.
Yeah. And when that snake died, then you want another snake. Because you're like, fuck, I already spent all this money on the setup.
Yeah, then I spent $80,000 on fucking ball pythons in the next 18 months. Fucking Jungle Bob.
He motivated you.
Yeah. He motivated me. Yo, they're beating the shit out of one of those rats. Hey.
Nighttime, man. They get aggressive at nighttime.
Bro, like, so she just had her litter. So I don't know if the other female's like unwanted over there or something, but she's tearing her up right now.
Oh yeah, that's good. She's a good mom.
Not happy.
We got a store like that. What is it called? The zoo. It's not too far from me. When I decided to move back upstate, right? So I moved back up here 4 years ago. When I decided to move back up here, I was looking for wholesales. I couldn't get a wholesale. Couldn't get rodents. And that's why I had to build a facility. I went in there and I was asking for hopper mice. And I said to him, "Oh, well, I got like 3 clutches that are due. How much is a hopper mouse?" And he's like, $325 or $350. Mice are $350. And I go, "Is there a discount?" He's like, "I'll knock off 25 cents." I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna buy like 100." He's like, $325 each for hopper mice.
That's fucking insane, bro.
So I left, and that was that. And then, I was looking for females, and he's got females. He cohabs. So all of his setups, he has like giant vision setups. And you'll see like 10, 12 ball pythons together in each one. And he pulls them out one by one and feeds them separately. So this had to have been, this is like almost 5 years ago. This is when hypo had such a bad name, and nobody wanted hypo except for me. And he had a hypo. There you go, Mike. He had a hypo female that was probably about like 800, 900 grams, getting to size, right? And he's like, "Well, make me an offer." And I was like, "Well, I can tell you that I just bought a hypo for $50, a proven breeder female for $50. And he looks at me and he walks away and goes in the back room. And just left me in his store. It's like after I told him, like, "Oh, I just paid $50. And he just turned around and walked away. So I just laughed.
So he's another Jungle Bob then.
Yeah. I mean, pet stores, I understand the pet store aspect. I managed pet stores in the past. You got overhead. It's a lot different with us. Our overhead is our rent, our mortgage, our taxes. Overhead, especially like when you're by you or Westchester, where you're paying 5,000, 10,000 a month. Now you have employees, you have workers' comp, you have, there's so many fucking variables where, yeah, they're going to ask more money.
Yeah.
And they have the advantage too, because not everybody feels comfortable shipping an animal or buying an animal from a picture.
People don't know you can ship animals either. I get that question all the time. Like, if somebody wants to buy a snake, like, how the fuck are you selling all these snakes in Suffolk County? I'm like, no, it's all over the nation. And I got to explain how FedEx has the overnight shipping,
Yeah. Rebecca, hit me up. That's fine. My father still can't believe it. And he's been watching me do it for years. Like, every time I'm packing boxes, he's like, I just can't believe that the animals are fine for shipping overnight. I'm like, well, they're in a styrofoam box and they're supplemented temperature, whether it's hot or cold. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the pet stores. I mean, I had a guy that what did I sell him? I sold him. I was selling him snakes and he was up in the price like 800% and fucking selling them.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy.
Dude,
I mean,
there was a banana pinstripe at Country Critters and they wanted $550 for it. And I think it was sold within like 2 weeks. How much did they pay for that animal? $200.
Was it male?
Yeah.
Yeah.
$175.
And banana pinstripes are fucking beautiful.
They are cool looking. But the problem is exactly what you said, though. You have a guy in there that's never had any ball pythons, and he's walking through with his 2 young kids, and they see this thing. They're like, "Holy shit! It's not brown and white and black. It's yellow, and it has these lines on it. It's insane looking." They don't realize there's 4 million of them, and they'll drop $550 on it. And like you said, then drop another $400 on the aquarium.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild, but you know what? I can't tell you how many. So I would say like 80% of my local customers had a bad experience at that store.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm grateful for it. Hey, he can make his money. I know he makes his money. It's just, I don't know. My whole issue is about lies. I don't like liars. I fucking hate liars. I don't like lying. I don't like anything about it. I went in there and he's telling me everything's all produced in house and everything's all this, everything's all that, right? But then I see him at every expo with him and his father at every expo with big ass bags, just buying snake after snake after snake at the reptile expos, and then he portrays it as something he produced himself.
Yeah, he goes there and probably buys like 10 pies for fucking $200 a piece, right?
Yeah, if that. I mean, he didn't really have high end animals, but I know I can tell you that my friend that became he was a customer and then became a friend. He linked up with me because he paid $800 for a bumblebee. Female.
Yeah.
Female bumblebee. $800. I mean, yeah, you know what? 5 years ago was different. Prices were a lot higher 5 years ago, but still, it was nowhere near that. I mean, you're getting a female bumblebee, almost breeder size for $500, not $800.
Oh yeah, I saw the killer bee that I got from my buddy when I bought that collection. I sold the killer bee for $400, and she was like 2,000 grams.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have a killer bee that I'm trying to trade for ammo. I have someone that wants it, and then their friend has ammo. I don't have any ammo, and I can't get ammo locally.
Well, you want to know my thought process behind that is? There's a lot of gun people and a lot of stock stores that have thousands of rounds of ammo, right? I only need one round to get that ammo from you. And I ain't missed yet.
Yeah.
So I've never been a doomsday guy where I'm gonna pack up because I know if shit hits the fan, somebody stocked up for me, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, come on over, buddy. My whole issue was I had a gun built. and I've only ran 30 rounds through it.
Oh, you got a ghost gun?
No, not a ghost gun. I got a unfortunate New York compliant AR.
Okay.
So, my buddy that built it is a retired Army Ranger sniper, and he built a beautiful, piece of art, pretty much. But we only, we shot 30 rounds through it. It was like shoot my new New York band toy in Virginia, or shoot, a fully automatic AK or his sniper rifle, or
Right.
I would prefer to shoot the cooler weapons than that weapon, but we only ran, 30 rounds through it. So it's not even close to broken in.
No.
So for it to be a reliable weapon, as well as for me to be comfortable, because I don't have that much experience with that weapon, I want to shoot a couple hundred rounds through it.
Yeah,
just so it's natural.
223 used to be fucking cheap too, and now it's like I've heard horror stories where it's like 55 cents a round, 60 cents a round right now. That's a lot of money.
It's more than that.
What is that now?
It's over $1.
It's over $1
for 223. It's over $1, and it's not even brass. It's the metal shells.
God, bro.
And that's only if you're buying like 500.
Yeah.
It's not even like you have to buy 500 rounds to get them for $1.
No shit.
Like if you're not, yeah. So like the store by me, I went in there for ammo, and they're like, use this website, use this website, use this website. They said, we just charge $10. You get the ammo shipped to us, and we charge you $10 a box. Because they said that their distributors aren't even, they're selling the rounds for the same price as the websites are, $1 a round.
Well,
so
I'm looking now. You can get 1,000 rounds for 43 cents a round.
brass?
No, Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean,
45 cents. These are all Target, 50 cents. I don't know any of these fucking brands.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea who these people are. My stepfather in South Carolina, check this out. He walked into like a mom and pop gun store down there, in like a little hip town, and there was an AK on the shelf. And he's looking at it, wants to take a look at it. He's looking at it. It's an original steel. It's steel. It's all steel casings, Dave. What are they saying? So it was an original Egyptian AK. Right?
Really? So fully auto.
So he's like, oh, how much?
20
and
grand.
He goes, guess how much he got that gun for?
20 grand?
$400.
What?
I don't know if the guy didn't know what it was.
He didn't know.
I mean, the thing definitely has bodies on it. It definitely has killed people in the sand somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You look at it, bro, it's old wood and it's all like smoothed over from being fucked with. Original Egyptian AK, bro. The thing's like fucking 40, 50 years old, maybe older. $400.
Oh, it's the M16s that are so expensive. The M16 lower, they're like
correct,
20 grand.
No, yeah. I mean, either way, this gun should probably be like $2,000 or $3,000.
Yeah.
But
I wish. I shot. My buddy, he with the cost of ammo, he put. We were shooting 22 rounds, 22 upper on a M16 lower.
Okay. Yeah.
And holy fuck, man, that's so. I did a YouTube video on it. Me and my son were shooting fucking machine guns, sniper rifles, handguns, everything. I need to get the fuck out of New York. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. Listen, if I didn't have the career I have, I would probably be out of here.
Yeah, I mean, and you're a young guy. You got time. Once you collect that pension, then you cash out and get the fuck out of New York.
Well, that's exactly what it is, bro. Once I'm eligible for retirement, hopefully the snakes are up and running decent, and cash out, split to Florida, keep this thing going.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, we're at a point where I think next year will be full time.
That's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, next year will be full time. I mean, even this year, I got over 60 breeder females. But I'm not breeding them all.
I mean, from a financial standpoint, if you look at it like this, and I mean, it's really obvious we both love the animals also, but if you look at it like this, a clutch like the first clutch I had, there's nothing recessive about that clutch, right? Just a bunch of codoms thrown together, $200, $500, $600 animals. That clutch, if I sold it all, can probably be $3,500.
Yeah.
$3,000, let's say $3,000. If you have 60 females doing that, that's $180,000 a year. That's a lot of fucking money, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I support the household, right? Like, I've been very candid with how much I make on everything. And, like, if you're taking $180,000 in a year from snakes, you're fucking chilling, bro. Technically, Dave, I can retire in, like, 12 years.
Nice.
I'm going to do another 15, though, because my pension goes up to, like, 56%. I'll be 47 with a 25-year pension.
Does your department max out retiring people?
You get 1/60th per year. You stay more, but I think before you can max out, you age out. So let's say you get on at 21, you're 41 years old, and you stay another 23 years. Your pension will pretty much be maxed out by the time you age out.
Yeah, because I know that when I was a dispatcher, if someone was retiring, they would announce their retirement. And then overtime lists would go to the retiring officers first.
Yeah.
So that they can max out and get their biggest paid year. So their pension works off of their biggest paid year.
So when it comes to that, it's my last 6 years. They get averaged together, and each year cannot exceed the next year by 20%. So in other words, like, what's that?
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you have to build it slowly in increments. You can't just max it out in 1 year.
The last like 5 or 6 years of your career, you just go balls out in overtime, and you'll be doing what the fuck you want,
Yeah.
The NYPD, we're underpaid compared to other departments near us, but our pensions, besides San Francisco PD, is the best pension law enforcement in the nation. For example, look at me. Like, my base pay as a detective is like 97 and change, right? Just to walk in the door. Whole package like 115, with overtime 150, right? Suffolk County PD, their base pay is 155.
Yeah.
Whole package with overtime like 220. But it takes 12 years to get there, right? Or it takes me 5. So for 7 years, I'm making that 150 while they're clamming away, 90, 80, whatever. But my pension is based upon how much I make percentage-wise. They're in a state tier 6 pension, so their pensionable income cannot exceed their base pay by 15%. So let's say, for example, NYPD's $100,000 base pay and Suffolk County PD's $100,000 base pay. With all the overtime, let's say we're making 180 each, right? Both making 180. My pension will be based upon 180. Their pension will be based upon 115. So they'll make good money while they're working. When they retire, their pension's fucking trash.
Yeah. But most police officers, it seems like every person I know that's in law enforcement, they already have a thriving business on the side before their pension.
So a lot of other law enforcers, they have like weird schedules. They're like 4 on, 2 off, 4 on, 4 off, shit like that. So they have extended time off, where if you line up your tours the right way, you'll work like 6 in a row and be off like 9. So you can do construction or some side business. When it comes to the NYPD, you're either 5 on, 2 off, 5 on, 3 off, or weekends off or steady days off. So it's a little more difficult. That's why when it comes to like breeding ball pythons, I can run the business and have like an actual business. Because let's be honest here, like, you could not open that. I don't do it, but you could not open that tub up for fucking 10 days, and that snake doesn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost, I consider it almost like passive income, just because, again, it's a hobby. So I love doing it either way. but it's not like I have to put 40 hours in a week. You can put time in, but the time you put in, you enjoy it. So to me, it's passive income. If I'm getting paid to do my hobby, it's a fucking home run.
Well, that's the beauty of it. I mean, that's what I liked about it. It's funny how I got back into ball pythons. I moved back to Westchester because my mother was in bad shape. So I was able to spend 6 months with her before she went to heaven.
Sorry to hear that.
So we had that variable. I appreciate it. And then we also had the variable of having an autistic son.
Right.
So like Mario was going to school up here, and the schools were filled. So he's a 2-year-old going to early intervention, getting bussed 45 minutes away to a school, coming home saturated in urine from a 45-minute bus ride. And they were doing a shitty job. It was a horrible experience. Really bad experience. I mean, just everything about it was bad. So when my mother got sick, we were like, okay, let's move to Westchester. Let's help out my parents. Let's get the better foundation for Mario. And I'm driving by Westchester County Center every day, So I you see that they have that big thing, Reptile Expo. It's always the first week of the month, right? So we went there and we bought 2 pastels, a male and a female. And then the next show, of course, we came back. So I said, okay, I need more than these 2 snakes. You know how it goes. You fucking want to buy more and more. And I linked up with John from Snake Man's Exotics. And I told him the whole story, how, I've been doing the research and I feel like this would be a great idea because I needed something. The whole reason of DMJ Reptiles, DMJ is David, Mario, Jenny. It's my 3 kids' names. It's something to fall back on for Mario. Now, Mario has grown quite a bit over the years, and he's really advanced a lot. Whether or not he will acclimate into regular population, only God will know, right? But I wanted to have something that if a self-sustainable business, God forbid something happened to me, that the 3 kids can work together and have a successful life with something that I leave them, right?
Yeah, legacy, sure, financial legacy.
And John really put me under his wing and showed me the profit, and he explained to everything. And he's till this day, he's a phone call away for me. And it's amazing. It's amazing that something that you can really love, because I mean, how many things can you love that you love makes you money?
Right. Bro, I used to be big into cars, right? And I remember I bought a 2011 Coyote Mustang. And I dumped like 10, 15 grand into this thing. It was a monster, you know what I mean? It was like a low 11s car on street tires.
Nice.
Probably put, I would say, close to 6 to the crank. I don't know, 515 into the ground. It was a really fast street car. 1140s, you know what I mean? 1130s.
That's fast.
Yeah, for a street car, fuck yeah, I'm moving. And it had the new 5.0 in it. It was full boss power pack, custom tuned 373s. You know what I mean? Some internal work, nothing crazy. Anyway, when I bought that car for like 27 grand for 15 grand into it. When I sold it and traded it in, I got like 10 grand. I literally didn't even get back the amount of parts and money I put into the car.
10 grand of memories.
Now with this hobby, I probably spent the last 2 years, like I said, probably anywhere between $65,000 to $80,000. Yeah. And I loved every second of it, and all these animals to me, I there's a reason why I got each and every one, and I love it. Meeting guys like you and Sal. But again, the financial side of it, that money's going to be recouped in like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm going to have like 3 clown pie girls ready to go. I'm going to have like 40 girls in here ready to go. And some of them are decently high-end shit, all recessives. I take that Aussie boy that I spent $4,500 on, and I have 3 normal pies and a pastel entry pie and a special pie ready to go for him. Think about that, bro. If I hit fucking, that's like 35 snakes right there. Again, counting your chickens here, but that's like 35 snakes that all have the possibility of being a couple $1,000s a piece, if not bare minimum $500 to $600 a piece.
Yeah.
How
And
can
you
not
got
love that? How can you
you
not
got the networking down and the social media. I mean, you're killing it with YouTube.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, somehow I keep gaining subscribers. My videos, I just try to like kind of document what happens throughout my weeks, talk about things that I like, conversations I have with like buddies, and people seem to it seems to resonate with people because it's just I don't know. It's I guess because I'm just honest and who's Redline Pythons?
Didn't you just call Mike earlier?
I never heard of him before.
Oh. I don't know.
Mike's one of my good friends.
Oh.
He's a Beverly Hills guy. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know what the fuck I was saying.
About the social media, picking up followers.
I mean, I just try to tell it like it is, but you're exactly right. Like, some guy the other day, he's an LAPD guy, and he asked me, he's like, I want to come up with a good name. And I'm like, listen, like, just whatever's you, right? I'm a cop. That's what I do. It's a big part of my life. I'm a New York City detective. Blue Line, originally it was called Baker's Balls. And
I like it.
Once I was like, you know what? I kind of want to make an actual business out of this. I really enjoy this. I was like, you really can't. Like, I can't go put a giant banner up in White Plains with Baker's Balls on it. You know, I could. Oh, I absolutely could.
Nice balls. Mike's got nice balls.
Yeah. No, I know. That's kind of where I got the name from. And then I met Saul. So Saul's balls. I was like, Baker's Balls. But then Blue Line Morphs kind of formed, man. The logo formed. The YouTube thing started as a joke, kind of. Then it wasn't a joke. And I'm just consistent on social media and Instagram posting, and I don't do anything fancy. I know there's a couple of YouTube channels that buy subscribers, and I'll tell you in private who they are. You could tell who grows organically by the amount of views and stuff like that, you know. But it's fun, dude. It's fun to document your journey and kind of. But you're absolutely right. Instagram and YouTube is legit free marketing for your brand.
My channel is organic because I've been stuck at 1,992 subscribers for the last fucking 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I've been dying to hit 2,000. I still haven't hit 2,000 on my YouTube channel.
But you don't do any like normal videos, right?
I do, but I haven't because I've been just swamped.
YouTube doesn't push live streams on their algorithm as much as regular videos.
I know.
So
I got a bunch of stuff. It's just, it's the editing. There's always a variable. So like right now it's summertime.
You see my videos. I don't go crazy with the editing. There's no fancy editing. It's for the most part, I talk.
I fuck around a lot, so there's a lot of deleting.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
Dude, I'll fuck up my videos and I'll just make fun of myself and I'll keep it moving.
Yeah. Sometimes I just, I say stuff that I shouldn't say in front of my children, so I have to delete it.
There has been a few videos where I was like 10 minutes deep in a video and I said something I should not have said. I was like,
yeah,
I'll just start over.
Sal's been breaking my balls because, I don't know how many videos I have. I think I got to be up to like 250, almost 300. I have a lot of videos. I mean, I started my YouTube page and channel 5 years ago. But I got like really consistent, and then I got monetized, and then I kind of fell off, just because of family stuff. My kids are getting bigger. There's more activities. There's more, I don't want to miss out on memories.
Sure.
My kids. So Junior, I missed out on a lot of juniors below, 6, 7, and below. I was working at 90 hours a week. We're a single income house. My wife stays at home. So in the last year, I've kind of directed my energy to more of I directed my energy more towards my kids. I my daughter is like my pride and joy. You know, she really brings so much joy in my life, and she keeps me busy.
Yeah.
So I don't want to miss out on that. I don't want to be. I don't want my daughter to grow up and be like, "Oh, my dad was too busy for him." You know.
Oh, dude, I don't listen. Again, I say a million times, like you have an amazing family, and I don't blame you at all. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to where I'm a single young dude where like I can stay up to fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, make a YouTube video, and not worry about getting my kids up, waking kids up, and so forth and so on. You know what I mean? So for now,
Yeah.
I'm going to take advantage of it. I've been telling Mike to get a YouTube channel started for a long time, and people don't know this. Some people do because he made a video. You know, Miguel, always evolving. If it
Yeah.
wasn't for Redline, there's no always evolving, and that gets lost a lot, and it's really unfortunate. But Miguel, pretty much, I'm not going to say the semantics of the whole entire detailed story, but Miguel had a video about it. Mike was an OG. Mike was breeding ball pythons when it was normals and like albinos and pies, and that was it. And he was doing it for a long, long time. He had an injury at work, and he essentially sold his entire collection for like pennies on the dollar to Miguel. All his females, like a million, not a million, but quite a bit breeder females. And he
Lily.
what's up, Lily? And he got Miguel started.
Really?
Yeah, so I've been telling Mike for a while start a YouTube channel, man, because that guy's got a lot of knowledge and he's been around the block. He's seen this industry grow from again 2 or 3 like different morphs to what it is now, and he's got some firepower growing up now too. So, but I think he's firefighters are they're scared, timid, second responders.
Do you ever you watch that TV show with the firefighters?
No, I'll just stop you there.
Tacoma FD.
No, answer is no.
Oh my god, it's incredible.
Wait, Tacoma FD, the guys from Super Troopers?
Yes.
I do want to watch that. I do want to watch.
Oh my god, I fucking love that show. I can't wait till it comes back because they are really absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, no, I did see that. I do want to watch that.
Thanks a lot, guy. It's my princess graduated kindergarten today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, it's been a battle because Jennifer is actually delayed development as well. So we have Mario with autism. All my kids have something special. Junior's got severe ADHD. Mario is autistic and other stuff. And then Jenny has delayed development. So they actually held her back and had her do kindergarten again. Okay. But she not only graduated kindergarten today, but she also will be in regular population next year.
Oh, it's a home
so
run,
she won't be in a right now she's in a class with 7 other kids and 3 teachers. She'll be in a classroom where there'll be extra aides, but it's a big move. It's a big thing for her.
Fuck yeah, you should be pumped.
Oh yeah, and she was ear to ear smiling all day today.
Good, dude. That's awesome. Good for you.
So she got in a fist fight with Mario. Yeah, that.
I heard you complaining about that earlier.
Yeah, well, she's vicious, man.
Still coming in hot. Look at him.
Who?
Gomez.
Oh shit. That's right. You see that? I gotta have you on more often then, so Gomez hangs out on the live stream.
Must be real busy over there in Queens, wherever he is.
Yeah, he's the hustler. It's so crazy how his rodent breeding has really bloomed.
Bloomed. Well, this fucking snake, dude. I should just leave her alone, but she is.
Yeah,
she's making all types of noise in there right now.
You're gonna have some babies real soon.
Yeah, I think those eggs might drop sooner than 5 days. We'll see. See what happens.
Yeah, I'm waiting on a few clutches right now. I had a bunch of prelay sheds, which scare me because I had about 4 of them. So, you know, I don't know. Getting a lot of babies at once is nervous, you know.
No, I agree. That's why I'm kind of happy. Like my season looks like it's going to be two halves. 5 on this half. They should all kind of be moving out as it gets filled back up with 5 more clutches, you know?
Yeah.
That's
It's nice that way.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, the ASFs do explode. I didn't really like ASFs. I was just getting tired of getting bit by them. But like I said, I mean,
I tried to feed my hatchlings last night, ASF, like hoppers. Those fucking things are jumping out of the tubs left and right, man. Like just full on like Olympic jumps. Just bang, right up onto me, onto the floor. They knock themselves out. And I'm like, God damn it. And I pick it back up and it's kicking around.
yeah,
that's last night was not a successful hatchling feed.
I'm bad with snake tubs. Like, I just made my first snake tub rack last year. All my tubs are all like Starlight tubs with lids. For all these years, I've been, that's how I've been doing it. So my feeding has always been, we have a 6-foot table, and we stack the snakes, and I feed, move it over, feed, and put them back in the rack. So actually feeding where you're sliding the tub out and dropping the prey in, I can't tell you how many times I drop a fucking ASF in, and it runs in and it jumps off the back wall and then pops out the front before I can fucking close the tub.
Bro, they're like
ninjas.
Yeah. Yeah. They bounce around like little, like, those balls you buy like 25-cent machine, you bounce them, the crazy balls.
Yeah.
Like, all my hatchlings last night struck at them, right? 2 of them wrapped them up and coiled them, didn't eat them. But once that like ASF hopper thought like he was in danger, like you said, it was like the Matrix. It would bounce off like wall to wall, then like pop right out of the tub, and they're dropping 5 or 6 feet or knock itself out. And I'm like, fuck, now this thing's not going to move around for this thing, and that's just a waste of a rat. So I have 3 or 4 hoppers right now frozen in my refrigerator, in my freezer, because the snakes killed them and they didn't eat them.
Yeah, that's what kills me about breeding season. That's the one thing I miss. I don't miss of when it is, because I offer food. I offer food until, even if they don't eat, I'll still offer.
Yeah.
And your older females will fucking kill them and then leave them.
Oh yeah.
And then you don't notice it. And then all of a sudden you wake up and you smell that beautiful flesh breakdown smell.
Oh yeah. So my reptile room is all the way in the back of my house, the last door. If a snake in here killed a rat and let it sit here overnight, when I walk in from work like 12, 15 hours later, that smell of death is, that smell right away. And then it's just going from tub to tub trying to find this fucking thing. And the worst is when they leave it lying on the hot side. So that when you get there, it's like bloated and fucking like, it's disgusting.
It's funny about like what the ball pythons have brought to like my smell, right? I've gone into stores and I could just smell that decomposing mouse under the shelving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, there's a dead mouse under here.
Oh, yeah.
There's definitely a dead mouse over here. I'm like, I know that fucking smells like.
Yeah, the smell of death is just any first responder will tell you. You get that. I remember when I did patrol for a little bit. You get that call like foul odor coming from basement apartment, and as soon as you walk down those steps, you're like, that's death. It's just a matter of how long it was there for. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's the tough part about, being a first responder, is having to deal with that.
Well, I'll tell you, there was only 2 times that the job got to me. And I'm not saying like a tough guy thing or whatever. It was only 2 times. I'm not talking about no, 3 times. One of which I won't talk about. But I've had my fair share of close calls, pop shots, stuff like that, knives, car accidents. But only 3 times, but 2 times I'll talk about where it was the first time was a chick was drunk, ran over a bus stop and hit like 14 people. One of which was like a 5-year-old. And I watched him like hold his grandmother's hand and then like die in his grandmother's arms.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, that fucking got to me a little bit. And the other one was watching a dog get hit by a car because I love fucking dogs, bro. That fucked me up because we were on a foot post and a pit bull ran across the street and the car hit it and you heard like the flesh on the concrete. And
Yeah.
I wanted to help it as much as I could. And I remember looking at the car and the dog was pinned and it was like hyperventilating. It was like, and like, you know, it was on its way out. And that was the only 3 times. But I felt bad those 2 days.
Seeing a dog, so when I moved, I was a chef. Well, actually, at that time, I was a server, and I was a new restaurant opener. So I was training employees for the Cheesecake Factory, and Cheesecake Factory would just send me all over the Northeast to open up new restaurants and train the opening staff. So I took the opportunity to move up to Albany, and because I was getting the same promotion in Albany as I would have got at the Palisades Mall one. But the difference was, which didn't make any sense at all, is I was only going to get like $12 an hour in White Plains. I mean, not White Plains, in the Palisades Mall, where it's more expensive to live.
Yeah.
But I was getting the same promotion in upstate New York, where it's cheaper to live, and I was going to get paid $15 an hour starting pay.
Oh, yeah, it's no brainer.
So I move up here, I get my apartment, I settle in, I adopt a dog, right? So they come to the house to do the home visit with this dog. And the dog, it was a big ass pit bull, black pit bull with the white on the head. The dog runs into my apartment, excitement to see another human, runs full speed into my wall and flips over. So I was like, this dog is dopey as shit. I named the dog Dopey, right? Everything went well. We kept Dopey. The next day, I get home from work, and I had a fenced-in property, and this is in downtown Albany on a main road. And I left my cigarettes in the car. And Dopey was in the fenced-in area. I get my cigarettes. I open the gate. I think the dog's in the backyard. I look. Dog's not in the backyard. Now I run to the front. The fucking dog's on the other side of the fence. Jump the fence and staring at me, wanting to play. Now, this is like 5 o'clock. Cars flying, traffic. And there's like parking. You know, there's street parking. So fucking Dopey doesn't know me. You know, I just had this dog 24 hours. And he ran full speed at me down the sidewalk, dodged me. I'm trying to tackle the fucking dog. I can't tackle the dog. Runs up that way, runs back, dodges me again, runs up, goes to dodge me again, makes a left turn between the cars and gets smashed by a fucking car going like 40 miles per hour.
Ugh.
This poor fucking dog, it got hit by this little like Hyundai. And it got launched. You know, and it was just laying on the ground crying. I'm a grown-ass man, man. I start fucking crying like a little baby with this dog that I just got. I was at the hospital with it. I couldn't afford the surgery. $5,000 to save it with its shoulder. I ended up surrendering the dog because I couldn't afford the surgery to save its arm because the arm was fully shattered. But oh my God, I still have nightmares of that fucking.
Did it survive?
Yeah, Dopey made it. Yeah, he made it. They amputated the leg. But it was a big mess. Then the adoption agency was trying to tell me that I did that to the dog.
Oh,
and
really?
They wanted to sue me. And the animal hospital was like, this dog, they made the dog wait 2 weeks before they did the surgery. Because the adoption agency didn't have the money to pay for it, like me.
Yeah.
But they never visited the dog once. I visit that dog every day before and after work.
Yeah. Dogs. There's very few things on this planet that are like just pure and like innocent. And it's like children and like fucking dogs. Everything else is fucking evil, especially humans, you know. And I tell you, my dog Shelby, bro, that dog's my best friend. Like, I don't even want to think about losing that dog. Like, she's only 6, you know what I mean? Pits live a long time. Like, I'll do anything for that dog. Like, fucking anything. That's my best friend, bro. I legit will stay home on a Friday, Saturday night to hang out with my dog. I'd rather just do that. Because
Yeah.
that dog's not going to be here forever, man. And like, I'd rather spend the time with her, have a fire out back, and a couple of beers, and like light a cigar and just chill, and she'll fucking chase squirrels and get startled by the tortoise, whatever the case may be, than fucking go out and hang out with my friends. My buddies know. They're like, "Oh, you want to come to my house for like a barbecue?" And I'm like, "Well, they're like, you can bring Shelby." I'm like, "Okay, I'll come." Otherwise, I'm not fucking coming.
I'm in search for a new puppy because our dog died 2 years ago. And that was Kaya, female pit, brindle. My buddy found her tied up to a post office blue box in Yonkers during a snowstorm.
Oh, piece of shit, bro.
Yeah, and they drove by. He picked up his girl, and they went to the bar, and they were like, "Oh my god, look at that dog! I hope that's not out there. It's supposed to snow tonight." They go to the bar. Now it's like 5 o'clock. They're driving home. Fucking dog's still out there, and it's snowing. Picks up the dog. It's a brindle pit. She was 24 pounds, fully malnourished.
An adult?
Adult, lactating. She was lactating, so it looked like she just had a litter.
Oh yeah, so they fucking pimped her out and they dropped her off and sell the puppies.
Well, my buddy's like, "I can't keep the dog, but do you want the dog?" And I said, "Yeah." So I drove down, pick up the dog, bring her home, bring her to the vet, get all of her shots, get all of that. And 2 weeks from getting her, I get home from work after a 14-hour day, and I hear guinea pigs. Ew, 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 ew.
Oh, she gave birth?
She gave birth to fucking 5 puppies under my futon at 20 fucking 4 pounds, man. 25 pounds. And she was the worst mother. She hated her puppies. I'd find puppies in the bathtub, in the under cabinets, on windowsills. Like when I go to work, she would stash the puppies all around the house. She didn't want no part of them. And she wouldn't nurse them. I would have to tell her, like, I'd be like, "Kaya, go be a mom." And she'd look at me. I'd be like, "Go be a mom." And then she'd like walk all like tail down, jump the baby gate into the kitchen, feed the puppies. Once the puppies are done eating, jump back and come lay down with me.
Oh.
I had her for 14 years.
Yeah.
And she passed 2 years ago, and I've been on a mission, and I haven't been ready to get another pit but now I'm on a mission. So
yeah, there's so many dogs need a loving home, bro, you know?
Yeah. We ended up adopting Bailey, the dog we have now, who's like a Catahoula lab cross. But, male dogs usually attached to the woman in the house, and the female dogs usually attached to the man in the house.
Oh, Shelby's right there, sitting there right now. That dog won't leave my fucking. I take a shit. She's laying at my feet.
Yeah. So I need a female pit. So now I'm ready. I'm ready. So now we're looking. But with this whole COVID shit, man, everyone's adopting dogs. Like, for me to go to the local spot, it'll cost me $600 to adopt a dog.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And then you're not even gonna find puppies because I mean, best case scenario, would find a brindle pit. That's what I would want. Brindle pit female, just like Kaya.
I love dogs, dude. I mean, you know how many times during search warrants, like I get to a house and that dog's not taken care of, like I deem, because technically it's property, and if I deem that animal's not being taken care of, that's neglected, the dog gets surrendered to me. You know how many times I hit doors and I get narco and I get guns and they got a dog that's not taken care of, and it's just not a good person in general. And all of a sudden that dog leaves with me. One of my buddies runs New York Bully Crew, so I always hit him up, and he'll be like, "You got another one?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got another one." He's like, "All right." So yeah, I mean, this is kind of how it works for me.
If you find a female brindle pup, it doesn't have to be brindle. If it's a female pit pup, let me know. I'll drive out to Long Island, even if I have to rent a car.
I'll definitely let you know, bro. Like, I mean, bro, there was one time we were doing a takedown on a dog fighting ring, and my supervisors wouldn't let me partake in it. They wouldn't let me hit the door.
They're afraid you're gonna kill someone.
Yeah, they're like, "You're not gonna fucking control yourself." Like, this is God's on the Bible, hand raised. They wouldn't let me participate in that search warrant, that raid of the facility. Wasn't allowed to go. I had an opportunity. There's an animal abuse team. There's like 3 of them, 3 detectives and a sergeant. I had the opportunity to go on that team, and they wouldn't let me go.
Oh my God.
They're like, you're not doing it. I'm like, no, like this is like something I'd actually be passionate about. Like, do I really give a fuck what goes on 70 miles west of me? No, I don't. That's the honest truth. Especially when I have no backing from any politicians or anybody. I get a kid with a gun that's been arrested 3 times with a gun in the last 6 months, and he's out doing a shooting a week after I arrested him. What the fuck's the point? With the animal abuse team, like I would actually want to do that. I really enjoy that. But the flip side of that is it would probably be I don't know. I'd probably take it personal, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and right now it's kind of crazy. I mean, I know the crime by me is fucking nuts.
Well, New York
The
City's
crime by me is up so high. I mean, we're getting like on average at least 1 murder a week in like the city where I live. Schenectady, they just made it. It used to be 12 in the top 12 most dangerous cities in New York, and now it's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, where I work, I never really discuss this all that much, but where I work is the worst precinct, if not 1 or 2 or 3, depending on who you speak to, depending on time of the year. I did my entire career pretty much in the worst of the worst. I did special ops pretty much my entire career. My only function in life is guns, search warrants, and gangs. Narco here and there, but the only reason why I pay attention to narco is where there's hard crack and heroin, there's normally firearms somewhere along the lines. I've never seen it this bad. Now, I wasn't a cop in the 70s and 80s. The crack epidemic where it was a shit show. But if you start running numbers, the numbers we're putting up now are right there with them. I think it's a different type of crime. I think it's not like the old school gang member hanging out in the corner, letting bullets fly and shit like that. There's a lot of young kids. It's a lot of rap stuff, and it's a lot of scamming stuff now. And
it's evolved.
Yeah, it's just different. I mean, I remember we did a 56-day period where the year prior to this, 56-day period, the year prior to this, we took like 17 shootings and 1 homicide, which in Brownsville, East Flatbush, is kind of the fucking norm. Okay? It is what it is. The same 56-day period a year later, it was something like 48 shootings and like 13 homicides or something. Yeah. And now keep in mind, when I say these numbers, people are like, oh, the city of Chicago. This is 1 fucking precinct. This is 1.5 square miles where there was 48 people shot in 56 days and 13 homicides. Never mind the other 121 precincts. New York City, especially Brooklyn and the Bronx, has become an absolute war zone. I don't mean that like kidding. It's a fucking war zone.
It is. There was just a drive-by last week in Yonkers. Yeah. Broad daylight.
Yeah.
Broad daylight.
No one cares anymore. Here's why, Chino. Why would all right. We go to work, we bust our ass, we got a little side hustle, the business, right? You're gonna be full-time doing it, but you're busting your ass making a living, right? Why do what we do when you could just scam credit cards, scam computers, scam Bitcoin, make 5-10 times the amount we can make, and then when you commit your crimes, you don't stay in jail anyway. There's no repercussions to it, right? I locked a kid up for he's a snatch boy. He's a robbery guy, a strong-arm robbery. You know what I'm saying? These 10-year-olds got kids, $800. These 10-year-olds got phones, they're $800. You know, he's a 19-year-old kid that's fucking 6'2", 220 pounds. He wants to take your 10-year-old's phone. He's taking your 10-year-old's phone. There's really fucking nothing you can do about it, right? No. So I've arrested him like 3 times for robbery. He gets out every time because he's a 19-year-old kid and he deserves a chance. So then when I have a conversation with him, it's like, all right, you stole this phone, I caught you. So it's safe to assume you've probably done this 10 other times and got away with it, right? Yeah. And he sells it to the bodegas who send it overseas, right? And they go to the Middle East, and that's where they sell the phones. So if he steals $800 phone, he sells it to them for $400. If he does it 10 times, gets caught 1 time, he spends a night in jail, gets yelled at by a judge, gets another court date, but he made $4,000 that week over phones. Would you stop?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Would you stop? Money. You go to the park, you make $400 a day, $500 a day on phones. You get caught once every 2 weeks, spend the night in jail, and then it gets squashed because you're 19 years old. Would you go to work for fucking 10 hours a day?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's. Everyone knew in New York that was going to happen when they decided to fucking free everybody from jail. You know,
reforms. Chino, there's been times where I hit doors and I execute search warrants and I start processing the arrest and I fingerprint them and they get sent down to central booking. They'll get released by the judge before I get done vouchering the gun I arrested them for. So it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I banging this door down, having a chance to take it around to the fucking chest of the head if you're going to be out the next day? It's like, okay.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because it's just going to get worse.
Yes, the city is going to get to the point. It's almost there now. Nobody wants to come. Nobody's going to come to visit. It's going to be like the 80s and 90s again, where you can't go to Times Square without getting mugged and shot. And it's sad because, you know, it is a losing battle. You're absolutely right. And it's one of those things where it's, at least in the 80s and 90s, people always hate cops, right? It is what it is. But at least in the 80s or 90s, there was some sort of backing, whether it was the mayor or the governor or whoever else, right? The public. But now we've been vilified so much that they don't want us there. So not only do you have the crime rising because of political decisions, you're also defunding us and getting rid of us. So you're not going to stop the crime, right? By getting rid of us, it's going to skyrocket. Then what's going to happen, right? So now nobody wants to be a cop. So who are you hiring? You're hiring riffraff that aren't going to do the job. Like when I got on, I call it the tail end of when you can still be a cop, right? We could still kind of do shit in the 2010s, you know, whatever you want to call them. You can't do anything anymore, bro. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing we can do. It's, you know, there's so many times where, like, you know, you get the old furtive movement. If a kid looks at me and it's July and it's 95 degrees outside, he's got a hoodie up, and he looks at me and he grabs his pocket and starts walking the other way, it would be my due diligence to stop that kid, right? It's 95 degrees outside. You're sweating your balls off with a hoodie up. You grab your pocket of something hard and you walk the other way when you see a cop. My antenna's up. I'm at level 2. I can stop you. They stopped all that now, right? So now it's like these kids aren't afraid. It's just a fucking free-for-all.
Yeah. And it's just going to evolve because, I mean, it's kind of like when you're a kid and you steal that fucking candy from the candy store, right? And then you get it. You get it the first time and you get away and you eat that candy and you go, man, that was awesome. You get that whole thrill.
Right.
And then the next day you come back and you pick up 2 candies. Well, all these guys that are doing these entry-level crimes are going to essentially evolve because they're getting away with it.
Yeah. And they're getting smarter. Like, everything's the credit card scams now. So, like, they'll buy my credit card number, your credit card number off of, like, the dark web, the black web, whatever you want to call it. And then they'll make their own credit cards, or they'll put it on an electronic credit card. They'll convert it to Bitcoin, and then they'll change that to a different server. They'll buy Dogecoin. They'll sell that. Then they'll have the cash in their Robinhood account.
It's crazy. It happened to me twice.
Yeah, thousands of dollars.
It happened to me twice.
Thousands of dollars.
And they spent so much money. I'm like, I stopped going to Dwayne Reed because of it. Yeah. Because Panda Express and Dwayne Reed, when it happened to me both times, Panda Express and Dwayne Reed in Brooklyn, it's the same fucking location. They're doing like 5 transactions a day of $150. Yeah. And I'm like, how the fuck is this happening? You know, and it's literally the person has to be going, unless they made multiple cards and they're going to multiple locations and that's how they're doing it. But in one day, 15 transactions, $2,000 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
Before, you know, Bank of America stopped it.
Well, what they'll do too is, like, you ever look on, like, Marketplace on Facebook and it'll be like a new MacBook that's normally $2,000, get it for $1,500, right? Or iPod things, the earbuds or whatever, what the fuck they're called. They're normally like $200. You get them for $125 from these kids. Why? Because they're stealing your credit card information. They're buying fucking 20 of them. They're gonna sell them for 75%, and then they make all the money. All the money's clean. Yeah,
and it's cash money too.
Yeah. Listen, I get the logic of it. You know, I had a conversation. We had this guy. He was providing all of Red Hook with heroin. And we couldn't catch him. It took me 2 years to catch this guy. Finally, I caught him dead to rights, right? I literally I went to the top of, I'm not going to say the address, but on Lorraine Street. And I sat on the top of the roof on the project for, I don't know, 11 o'clock the day before, 10 o'clock the day before, and just fucking sat there, bro. I brought sandwiches. I just hung out. And I waited. And once I knew he was in the building, went down, caught him, hand-to-hand, heroin, collared him, right? Boom, got the biggest dealer in Red Hook. Now, he is not what you'd expect. I had a conversation with him. Super articulate, super intelligent, absolute fucking gentleman. So I said, listen, I said, why, what are you doing? Like, you're a smart, like, good, listen, you're a drug dealer, but you're like a good dude. Like, I don't understand this. Like, you're not like some punk, like, hood rat, you know? And he's like, well, you want to speak candidly? I was like, yeah. He's like, all my charges are already, I'm like, yeah, already fingerprint. I can't add anything on, you know? I was like, yeah. I was like, listen, this is just man-to-man talking. He said, listen, how much do you make? I told him, I was like, yeah, $150 a year. He's like, okay. How much you take home after taxes? I was like, I bust my ass $6,000 a month, $600 a month. Okay. He's like, how much did I have on me this morning? It was like $1,800, right? He's like, that was this morning because it was an early morning. He was like, off the record? I was like, yeah. He's like, let's just say my mother lives in Virginia. My mom has 3 houses in Virginia, 2 cars paid off, and all 3 of my children have full college tuition, and my mother has about $400,000 to $500,000 in cash in her bank account. He's like, so I'm going to go to jail for 3 years, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay. And then I moved to Virginia, and I'm driving my brand new BMW that's paid off in my brand new house, with my mom taking care of my kids, and I work at Home Depot, and I'm set up for life. I was like, fuck, like, I get your logic, dude. Like, my man owns probably, I don't know, $2 million in real estate, 3 $50,000 cars, and has $50,000 in liquid cash, and he's got to do 3 years of his life in jail.
Yeah.
Right? Think about that logic. I get it. Yeah. He's a scumbag, but I get it. I get the logic, the rationale behind it. It's the old Morphs review. All right, so what? You caught me. I do 2 years in jail, but I made fucking $3 million in the 1 year I was out.
Yeah, and if you don't have a conscience and you can fucking sell poison,
that's the thing. At the end of the day, you're selling heroin to people that's killing people.
Yeah, especially now. Forget it. All this fentanyl fucking shit.
Well, the only good thing that the ADAs actually did, the DA's office, is we started linking fentanyl overdoses to manslaughter. So we could kind of get it to a murder charge because you have to prove that they were cutting with fentanyl. Anyway, long story short, these overdoses are actually starting to get prosecuted now, which is good. But that's probably only because somebody's politician's uncle, cousin died of an overdose, and now they made a big deal about it, you know?
The biggest fentanyl bust in New York, it was a bigger one a week later, but it was the biggest one was 6 houses up from my house in Westchester.
And you never know it.
I had no idea. My buddy was renting the house out. He rented the house out to a young couple with a kid, and they found I think it was like 10 kilos of fentanyl and 14 kilos of heroin.
That's insane.
So it was enough fentanyl to kill 2 million people.
Yeah, the city. Right.
And it was right up the street from my father's house, my childhood block growing up, you know?
Yeah, dude, yeah, people don't. What, you gotta go outside? I gotta let my dog out real quick. I'll be right back, Gino.
Yeah, no worries.
She's dancing around, gonna piss herself. Come on, honey.
I hear her shuffling.
Go.
Well, how's everybody in the chat doing? I see we still got 21 people. Thank you very much for hanging out. And if you guys got any questions. Oh, he's got a fancy alarm system.
Yeah, but you said it, bro. Like, people don't care, bro. Like, I believe in karma. You're doing shit like that, like, that's just gonna come back to you eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I got it right there. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm a big karma, juju. I mean, I feel like the ring of life, our world revolves around a circle, and all the good energy you put out there will eventually come back to you, whether it's tomorrow, next week, or 10 years.
Yeah, it's the law of attraction.
There are people out there that that don't have a conscience that can fucking just, I don't know. fentanyl and heroin. I don't know. Every year, my friend just lost her fucking sister, 43 years old.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucked up because when in the 90s, you know, like there was heroin overdose, but it wasn't anyone you knew.
Right. Well, you're exactly right. It's so. I attribute rather this to pills. So yeah, like you said, back in the day, heroin and crack is like you didn't know anybody doing that. It was like
Hydros, ecstasy,
yeah.
mushrooms,
But
acid.
what happened is Vicodin, OxyContin. Once people started getting addicted to them, like one of my buddies, his dad, his dad killed himself in jail. This is like 20 years ago now. He was a hardworking guy, construction worker, fucked his back up, right? The doctor fucked up the operation. He got addicted to pain medication because he couldn't walk without it, right? They took him off of it. So it was either buy like a $60 pill or buy heroin for $10. And he got addicted to drugs, went to jail, and ultimately in jail, ended up hanging himself.
That sucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's how it all started. My buddy, God rest his soul, Milky Mike, one of my best friends growing up. Mike was an extremist. You know, he was the first one to hit 200 miles per hour on the street bike. He was the first one to hit 180 in a sports car. He was an extremist, and he took his M5 and he flipped it 15 times. Got major brain damage, broke both of his arms, his legs, he broke everything. Recovered from all that, became a heroin addict. And not a heroin addict, he was a pill popper because you still were accessible to pills.
Yeah.
And you know what's fucked up about that poison, and the reason why I like to call it poison is even when you gain the mentality to get over it, like you can't just take care of it yourself. It's not like you just go cold turkey and just stop smoking cigarettes.
No, your body will shut down.
Yeah, and he he went to rehab 3 times, and then the 4th time he didn't want to disappoint his mother, so he tried doing it at home. You know, and unfortunately he passed. He passed in his sleep. Mike was like 32 years old. You know, and that was all from getting injured. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It sucks because Mike was like a little brother. You know.
Well, that's why you look at like a dealer, and it's like this guy's reaching how many hundreds of families, right? So why can't we hold him accountable for all of that? Not just, okay, I caught you with 20 glass scenes of heroin. Okay, whatever. Intent to sell to 2016. He's out the next day anyway. Like, why can't I don't know. I'm a big advocate of like the 3-strike rule, Hammurabi's code. Like, we catch you once, okay. Catch you twice, you go to jail for a little bit. Catch you a 3rd time, you're done. Like, we live by a social code, right? We're animals. People somehow think that we're different than like a dog or a cat. We're just another mammal, okay? We're just another fucking mammal. We just happen to have thumbs, and we created a society. We created a civilization. And the civil code essentially says, I won't kill you or touch you or take your shit if you won't do the same to me, right? That is more or less the standards we live by. Otherwise, it would be a chaotic mess, and we'd be like animals. So once people start abusing that civil code or not abiding by that civil code, we're not going to attack, kill, steal, whatever, right? Once they abandon that and they stop participating in that, they should not be protected by the civil codes we put in place, aka our laws. So once you no longer want to participate in our society and live by our civil rules, you should be excluded from it. You should be put in jail. You should be put in Australia on a different island. You don't want to participate in a society as we set it up, then you no longer can be here. Don't grant them the same fortitude that we work for when they're not living by the same rules we are.
Yeah. The animals.
More or less.
Yeah.
We got very political, Chino.
Not political. I think it's more of, unfortunately, it's an everyday life that we're in right now, especially as New Yorkers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just excited that back to ball pythons.
Oh, that's right.
That
That's right. This is the Snake Channel, right?
this is a snake channel, well, reptile channel. I'm just I I'm close to my goal. So last year I hit 15 clutches, and that was my record. And then I'm really hoping that I go over 20 this year.
Yeah,
And
I mean, that's a lot of fucking snakes, man. Have you ever had a hard time selling animals?
No, because I mean it varies on the way you look at it, right? Like some people want to sell out everything like while they're still small. But I mean I do expos, so I need inventory. Who wants to do an expo with no animals?
How 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 are expos worth it?
It's a different animal.
Yeah. So if you
It
go
is.
there with like 20 snakes, how many are you leaving with?
Shit, sometimes you leave at 20.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not about the sales at expos. Oh fuck my camera. Hold on. My camera fucked up. It did this last time too. Whatever. I'm just gonna stay blurry. So at the expos, it's not about the sales, it's about networking.
Right.
So yeah, you may not sell a lot of animals at an expo, but you may get 2 customers that are lifetime customers.
Sure.
So I look at it like that. I No, I got to do something about this fucking thing. Sorry, it's pissing me off. Hold on, I'm
Was it
gonna
blurry?
lose you for a second. Yeah, it's gonna unplug it and then switch it over. Um, mic, camera, HD. There you go. Now I'm clear again. Um, I love the rush. I love setting up. I love introducing people that are not don't even have a reptile. I love that experience. I love the children learning and getting these young motivated kids that want a reptile and you know they're on fucking YouTube watching videos and they're on Morph Market looking at snakes and they come to your table and you hear this like amazing 10-year-old kid fucking you know that knows more than I did my first year breeding.
Yeah, yeah.
That experience is cool, and you have your times. Like, so I work with so many different species. So we got the ball pythons. Now we got the boas. I've been breeding crested geckos for years. Crested geckos, morning geckos, gargoyles, lychees, even morning geckos. So I work with a lot of different species. So I have a lot of different. I have a very large clientele. But the expos are fun, but they'll make you smile and they'll break your fucking heart, because
Yeah.
you'll want to do really well. You'll have a bunch of animals, and then you may only sell 3 snakes. So your trip is paid off. The expo's paid off because
Yeah,
the
but
expo it's so like at the end of the expo you pay for the next show,
yeah.
right? And then if like New Hampshire, we got to buy a hotel, gas, tolls, hotel, next expo, like all that shit adds up. Um, so if I break even and at the same time have a great fucking time, it's worth it.
I agree. Well, I look forward to it. I like talking. I'm a people person. I like talking to people. So I think
Oh,
it'll
so
be
you'll
fun.
like it.
Yeah. I've heard exactly what you said. I've talked to some people that say I go there with 25 snakes and I have none within 2 hours. I've heard people say, they make 25, 30 grand in one expo. And then
Yeah,
I've heard guys say sometimes I go there and I sell one snake. Is what it is.
yeah.
But like you said, people see your logo, they see you from social media.
It's cool. It's really cool. Like, I've had people come and be like, "Oh, can I take a picture with you?" Which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm modest about everything. You know, I don't know. I've been around a lot of big-headed people in my lifetime, so I want to make sure that I'll always be me. You know, I'll never be a big-headed fucking. You know who the fuck I am? One of those people. You know.
Yeah, I mean, being humble is always, you don't want to be a dick.
Yeah.
And then if people go to these expos and like you're an asshole, like it's just gonna hurt business across the board. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what it is. You give that bad experience. You know, that's the issue of pet stores. You know, someone. Yeah, how many times have you talked to someone and they say, "Oh, you have ball pythons?" Oh man, I had one when I was a kid, but it died. It didn't eat. You know, like
Yeah.
us as breeders, we have to. I think that's a big part about breeding too, because you did this pairing, you collected these eggs, you hatched these eggs, you got their first meal, you did all this shit. Now these animals are like our fucking family to you.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
they're all pets.
I have vetted people, and unfortunately, I've turned people down.
I
You know,
I
where
I actually want to talk to you about that. Give me 1 second. Shelby's fucking barking to come back inside.
they're
I'm coming.
which Repticon? Repticon is everywhere. I think Repticon. There's one in Buffalo, New York. Florida has a Repticon.
My bad, Gino.
No worries. I mean,
So,
it's a different animal now too, though, because Morph Market with COVID and everyone buying.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as I saw that you couldn't get racks. You know, as soon as racks systems were on back order, my gut feeling was the market was going to be really good,
Oh yeah, of course.
because if they're selling out racks, more people have racks and more people need snakes, and it'll work out, and it did work out. I mean, I think I only have I probably have three 2020s.
Yeah.
Three 2020s left. I had 15
That's
clutches
not how
last year.
How many you produce?
I'm not sure. I think I don't even know. I got it written down, like all the numbers on everything, but I think I produced like 90 snakes last year.
Yeah, that's phenomenal, dude. So it's funny, like talking about vetting people. So like I said before, like the first snake, that guy sent me a deposit down on one of the animals over there, right? Listen, it's $1,000, good money. I know the guy's good. I know the guy takes care of his snakes, and but it's one of those things. Like it was almost like bittersweet. So it was like listen. Last year I produced a couple bananas and a couple normals. You know what I'm saying? Still snakes, still cool animals. But like this was like fuck. Like this thing's really cool. And I hope it does well. I hope this guy takes care of it. And it's like you're shipping out like an animal you created. Like you said, if it wasn't for me putting that male with that female, then pulling the eggs and putting them in the incubator, then cutting them open, and then putting them over there, and then getting them to eat, and then shipping them out, that animal's not alive. So it's kind of like you're sending like your little babies out into the world, and it's like, fuck, you want to make sure they go to the right people. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and it's the worst feeling to find out that you sold an animal and they fucking killed it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've had that happen a lot of times where they killed it. And you know what's fucked up is it's always the breeders. It's the breeders that kill them.
Yeah.
It's not the people that have it as a pet. The people that have it as a pet are like the animals are thriving. I turned down someone on a snake because I asked them what kind of setup the snake's going in, and they said, "Oh, well, we have a sunroom." So I'm not even. I'm like, well, how are you going to do heating and cool? You know, all that. Oh, well, it's hot there, so I'm not even going to use a thermostat in the summertime. And I just responded to them. I said, well, ball python's not the best choice for you.
Yeah.
You know, it needs a more controlled environment. You're just asking for trouble. And so I've been there, but I mean, once everything opens up, like White Plains, I love White Plains, man. That's one of my favorite expos. That was my first expo too.
I'll definitely be up there. Like I said, I'm answering Dave's question right now. He said, "I hoped you held back like one female het pied from last year. Here she is." I made sure out of all the disasters of my first season, I held this girl back. This is my Eve. This is Big Mama's baby. It's just a normal het pied, but it's from my only surviving clutch my first season. So kind of partial to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
oh, yeah. I see. I made the mistake. I sold everything. I have nothing from my first clutches. My first season. Yeah, I sold everything.
I'm kind of happy I kept her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if I wasn't doing so, like my first year breeding, I was already vending.
Gotcha.
So like I needed animals to sell, you know.
Yeah.
But now it's a lot different. Now it's a lot different. Hopefully the New York shows, like Long Island, I because I get the emails and all of that. I guess when's in the September is when they're trying to do
October. So I think the first show I'm gonna vend is like October 17th or something like that. It's on Long Island. It's in Brentwood. So I'm probably gonna vend that. I'll have animals. I don't plan on doing a lot. I don't plan on bringing 40 animals. I might show up with like 10 to 15, depending how the season goes. You know, depending what's left, just to do it, just to show up with a banner. You know, hand out business cards. People see me.
It's cool, man. And you got a busy YouTube channel, so you're gonna get a lot of people that are gonna be like, "Oh my god, I watch all your stuff," and talk to you about videos that inspired them, or or anything that you put out there in the media world.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Again, I mean, that would be cool if people recognize me from fucking social media. That'd be cool. But I think
you get your views. I see your views. You're kicking ass on it.
They do okay. I tell you, anytime like a video gets over 1,000 views, like that's a fucking 1,000 people watching this shit that you put out.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, everyone has Elliot, right? Is Elliot commenting every one of your videos? Elliot Perez.
Yeah.
Fucking love that guy.
Like, I'm surprised he's not in here.
He must be working.
Yeah.
Must be.
I see. The problem is, like, I try to watch everyone's like videos. So there's days where like I'm like home sitting on the couch. I'll just let like Shane's channel run. I'll just let like Gomez, like I'll miss like 2 weeks of Gomez videos, and then I'll just fucking watch like fucking 7 of them. You know?
Yeah. I'm the same way. I binge. I have the smart TV. It's what I love about technology, because I'll play the videos. I'll play someone's channel on my phone, and then I'll send it to a TV with the Roku.
Yeah.
And then just play them through and binge watch everyone. Yeah, the expos are cool, man. If you come out to New Hampshire on the 27th, and you can come hang out at the table.
It's the 20th. Oh yeah, next weekend. Yeah, I'm gonna see if someone will take the ride with me. I'll come fucking shoot up there.
Yeah, it's New Hampshire's a good show, man. New Hampshire's a good show. It's got a lot of people, and it's a good trip because 4th of July is coming up, and New Hampshire has fireworks stores all over. So that's another reason why I like that.
It's illegal, Chino.
What's illegal?
Fireworks.
In New Hampshire, they're not.
Yeah, you're confiscating gunpowder over state lines.
Who said that? I'm firing them off over there after doing an expo.
if you need any, let me know. I got some good connections.
Yeah, well,
fireworks. Listen, fireworks. You can make good money on fire. I'm all about the hustle, bro. You make good money on fireworks, but
yeah,
you get caught, and then you're on that terrorist watch group.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that. I just want to light them off myself.
Well, what's funny? I used to spend like get the vacation 4th of July and go to South Carolina to visit my mom. Bro, you can walk into Walmart and buy like blockbusters. So like it was like a free for all for us. I would drop a couple $100. We'd have like a fucking party all night long.
I love fireworks, man. My father, my father's an awful boat Filipino man, and we used to go down to Chinatown, and he had his spots, and you go in, and all of a sudden he'll start talking to the guy, and the guy will be like, "No, everyone leaves the store," and the guy pulls out the book.
Yeah.
And then we're just ordering, and I mean, my father was nuts. I would never do it with my kids, but I mean, I was like 6 years old lighting off fucking blockbusters and shit, blowing up trees. That was like our big thing. Was like putting blockbusters on trees and then lighting them off to blow them up.
Oh, I thought she was laying just now. I'm like, motherfucker. I was like, Chino, it's about to get real interesting. Yeah, I got a funny story about you blowing shit up though. One of the kids I used to work with, he was a combat engineer in the Army.
Yeah.
They blow things up. And we were drinking, and we're at his house, and he has like an acre and a half. And he's like, you want to see something cool? I'm like, fuck yeah. So he goes in his basement, he comes out, he drills a hole in a tree in the backyard. He had a bunch of trees. Like literally like a woods in his backyard. Drilled a hole in a tree. He's packing the tree. I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? He's like, get over here. Blows the tree right out of the fucking ground. Right out of the fucking ground. Just blows the tree out of the ground. Big fire department, police show up. So now, mind you, he's a cop too, and he's a former combat engineer in the Army. So then the fire department gets to the chief's like, whatever his name is, he's like, you got to stop making C4, and you got to stop blowing things up in your backyard. And he's like, I didn't do that. He's like, you have to stop blowing things up in your backyard. We can't come here anymore. And then, mind you, in the background, the tree's like charged, like a fucking crater on the ground. Like, stop making C4 and stop blowing things up. He's like, okay. I was like, this guy's out of his fucking mind, bro.
Yeah, so my friend that's a police officer. Well, he's a sergeant now. He would always do the trips, and they would drive out and get a trailer and fill it up.
Oh, yeah.
And the fireworks shows that we put off every 4th of July was incredible because because they would buy the fireworks, they would sell all these fireworks, they would get all these fireworks for free, so they'd end up with like 10 grand worth of fireworks off of their profit as well as making profit.
Oh yeah.
And we set up 2 stations, and then we have our mortar set up on each side, our cake set up, and you're just using flares, and just that station goes. Once they light it off, then you light off your side, and I mean,
nonstop.
The police would just show up and watch. This is in like Fultonville, New York, Charleston, New York, Amish territory. So it's hysterical because by the time we started lighting off fireworks on the 4th of July, you can see fucking horse and buggies all lined up on the road with all the Amish people watching us light off fireworks.
Yeah.
And the police will be like, they'll show up and they'll be like, then everybody starts pulling out their badges because there's all cops there.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, you got 10 more minutes. Do your grand finale and fucking, close shop.
Yeah.
But that ship sailed. We haven't done that in years, so everybody's getting old now.
Times are changing.
Well, we are almost at the 3.5 hour mark.
Yeah, it's getting late, real quick.
Yeah. And so this is like, we're in my living room, so I got the banner set up to cover up my mess. So when we shut down, we still got to shut everything down, and I still haven't eaten dinner. So
yeah, I'm starving. So,
but I appreciate you coming on the show.
No, it was fun, Gino. We had a conversation, went all over the place.
Yeah, that's my ADHD, man. Goes everywhere.
I like it.
I enjoyed it, man. I had a great time. I hope you come out and hang out next week. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna see who's going. I'm gonna try to take a ride with somebody. It'd be fun to shoot up there real quick.
Try to get Eric to come out.
That's exactly what I'm gonna call.
maybe I got a fire spot nose pinstripe female that's his.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Maybe I'll give it to him at the show.
Maybe that's what I'll do. That'll be my convincing point. Sounds good.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate it. If you want to close out and say peace to whomever. I don't know.
I'm good. It was fun, dude. I appreciate it.
Yes, man. Definitely.
All
Thanks
right.
again.
Hopefully, I see you next week, Gino.
Yeah, that'd be cool as shit, brother.
Later.
Later, man. All right. That was fun. That was great. That was a really good live stream. And let me tell you, me and Baker have only talked via message. We've actually never physically talked. So it was cool to be able to actually have a real conversation with him. Another fellow New Yorker. You know, us New Yorkers, we love our New Yorkers. And you know, it was fun. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope you all have a great night. And hope I'll see you next week. And hopefully I'll post a video this week. I'm going to try my best to post a video this week because I've been slacking. So I am sorry about that. But you all have a great night. Thanks a lot. If you don't follow Blue Line Morphs, definitely check him out. Clearly a genuine dude. If you've been here watching, you can see that he's a humble dude. And yeah. Later, everybody.